studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I
hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes,
The Cowboys won in the hump last night, but it didn't matter because you ended up falling to the Mississippi State Bulldogs 81-68 on the basketball court. Just haven't had a great track record of success in Starkville. I think 7-23 in the 30 games that you've played there. Just not an easy place to play for whatever reason for your Arkansas Razorback basketball team. James Franklin, Sam Pittman got a chance to do a joint press conference yesterday. They told us that they talked a little bit during bowling the other night, and it was a fun press conference. Got some entertainment, got some information, and we'll share that with you this morning. John Ridgway was making some jokes when they were at Busch Gardens down there at Tampa that he could take down a gorilla, and I actually want to hear from y'all this morning if John Ridgway was pitted against the gorilla, who would win that battle. Brad Crawford, we touched on him at points this season. He's the one, again, if a reminder of 24/7 Sports, that had KJ at 14th in the SEC, and now he has him 14th nationally in all of college football in his quarterback rankings. He's been kind enough to shave out some of his time this morning and join us at 6:30. Little change up in the 7 o'clock hour. Tom Murphy's going to join us tomorrow, and Clay's going to join us the entire hour because he's going to be driving to Tampa tomorrow. So we got a little shake up going this morning and tomorrow as well as we close it out getting ready for bowl week, Tommy.
Yeah, maybe Clay can roll through Starkville today and check the rims down there and see if they can get any threes to drop, particularly in the second half. Well, that was pretty disappointing yesterday to watch that unfold late afternoon, to see the way, particularly in the second half where you were settling for threes, the passes. I know you've been on before the show when we were talking about how they just weren't looking. They were taking kind of first looks in the second half, and the turnovers. It was a pretty putrid performance in the final 20 minutes for Arkansas yesterday.
Basically, when a guy got the ball, he just tried to go to the rim. There wasn't any side-to-side. There wasn't any back and forth. You saw more of it in the first half, and that's why I think they looked a little better offensively, and they're hitting the threes a little more. But, man, this second half, it was bad. The threes weren't falling. They took a few more of them, and this team, I think, got antsy. And here's the thing. It's not like there was an intimidating crowd there in Starkville.
Nope.
There was no one there. There was no students. There was no fans. And I know Ben Howland after the game went over and clapped and thanked them for the however many were there. I didn't see the official attendance numbers on that.
It says 66-29 on the box score. There was not 6,600 people there.
And it's just like you would hope that this team wouldn't get as rattled as they did, because when you go to Auburn, I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch that game last night. That is a hostile basketball environment. When you go to the Maravich Center in LSU, when you go to Thompson Bowling in Tennessee, when you travel to Alabama to take on the Crimson Tide, that's kind of the creme de la creme right now of the SEC basketball circuit, plus Kentucky, who I haven't mentioned as well. You don't have to go to Rupp this year, but you do host them in Bud Walton Arena. Y'all, that's not going to be easy, and we've said it over and over again. The part of the schedule that Arkansas gets early on in conference play is easy. They need to start off strong, and last night was not a great way to kick off conference play, Tommy.
Well, historically, Starkville's not been kind to the Hogs. You had the number there, about how they've played down there. You look at the series, this has been almost even. I saw this after the game. I think the series evens up in the 60-some-odd games to 34-32. Hogs have the advantage by 2. So these two programs have played each other pretty even historically. And so I don't think all is lost by this last night. You're not a ranked team, and you certainly didn't look like a ranked team last night. And that's the thing. Everybody believes that, hey, you went to the Elite Eight last year. You were a second weekend program last year in the NCAA tournament, and that's how everything's measured. You ought to be that again this year. Well, right now you don't look like a Sweet 16 team. You don't look like a team that may even make the tournament, honestly, and because it looks like you're going to be playing to the middle to the bottom half of the league right now. with all the, very early out of the gate, you didn't break well to the rail, to use a horse racing term. You're going to have to fight through some traffic here, it appears, after one game. So that's the thing we've got to, come to grips with. Now, on the other hand, Ty, there's 18 games left, including that non-conference game with West Virginia. In the regular season, there's a lot of basketball to play, but Arkansas's got to start finding some of the pieces to the puzzle. And right now you've still got a record of 10-3, but you're 0-1 in SEC play, and it sure feels like a team that hadn't won 10 games at this point. Yeah,
and I would say to really not getting off to a good start, it started pregame when I get the email from the University of Arkansas that J.D. Note and Chance Moore have an illness, and Kamani Johnson has indefinitely been suspended. Musk did not elaborate on that. I was hoping he would, but did not go into that last night. Kamani put out a statement that we're going to get into later in the hour, but even before you tipped off, it was bad news brewing in that game.
And, with all the illnesses and J.D.'s, Kamani's is a suspension, indefinite suspension. The other, it was illness. So you got two different things going on there. You got to separate those. You may not be done with illness. That's as we're seeing around the world. We get, Arkansas played early because of a game that's postponed. This may be something you have to battle a while. And I don't believe. Now, you tell me what you think. I don't believe if JD plays last night that's the difference in winning and losing. I don't think you can look at this game as, boy, if you were, certainly Chance Moore and Kamani have not been key players. JD obviously has been. Do you think you win the game if JD Note's there and ready to go? Because it didn't seem that close to me in the last 20 minutes.
He has a plus-minus, I think, 144 this season, both defensively and offensively. He's close to, I don't know if you can put in your best player defensively, but he's scoring, I think, 18 points a game. I think that leads the SEC. I don't know if I can definitively say that they still don't win last night without him, but it sure I wouldn't bet on them. I wouldn't bet on them to win just based on the overall performance. Devontae Davis and Stanley Mude both ended up shooting 7 for 12. I think Stanley had 19 and Devo had 15. If I got to go back and double check the box score on that, but just offensively, second half they just didn't move. I know one of the things that I think Eric Musselman's going to be preaching on with this team is, y'all got to move the ball. There's not enough passes. He's been really harking on them at times that they've got to get a certain threshold of passes. And I would guess, based on what I saw in the second half, they did not get close to that last night. This is a competitive league. Chris is going to get a rude awakening in this league. It's one thing to get to the rim in non-conference and draw fouls, but there are some big bodies in the SEC. It's not like I want to stop him from going to the rim, but just know that when you try and draw contact, sometimes it's not always going to get called, and he just needs to be aware of that. I'm not putting this on Chris. It's just kind of a wake-up call to all these transfers coming in. This is a physical league, and you better get ready for it because you got punched in the mouth last night.
Well, and you had a game where one team was driving and attacking the rim and getting to the free throw line, and the other team was shooting threes. You had, particularly in the last half, two different games kind of going on. So a lot to get into, but I think the reality is this may not be a second weekend team, and they're going to have to find the pieces. And last night you had one of your leaders out, and no one really stepped up to take that spot, to be a 20-point guy last night, in comparison. So, all right, a lot to get to, a lot of football to get to, and we're going to dive into it all. You can call or text us here on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Be installed before the weekend's up. Watch all of the bowl games with WOW from World of Wireless with your whole home DVR, HD in every room with the new Hopper system. Plus, it's got integrated Netflix, integrated Prime Video, and many of the apps you probably already enjoy and pay for now. 877-305-DISH. Get a $100 Visa gift card, too, by the way, and a 2-year price lock. So no inflation on your satellite bill for the next 2 years. 877-305-DISH for WOW, World of Wireless.
Coming up, we got some football to discuss. It looked like the guys had some fun at Busch Gardens yesterday. Think Worlds of Fun, think Disney World. It seemed like a lot of the Razorback football players getting that. Some Sam Pittman, James Franklin audio. All this is coming up on a Recruiting Thursday of the Morning Rush.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
Cash back in your pocket on any vehicle purchased. And with interest rates as low as 0% and no payments for 90 days, you will be merry and bright as well. It's holiday relief. $500 cash back in your pocket on every vehicle purchased. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Don't miss the New Year's Day sale at Jelco Outdoors. This Saturday, one day only, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 hours of savings throughout the store. Savings from 22 to 50% off selected clothing, footwear, Western boots, and sporting goods. It's the one day only New Year's Day sale at Jelco Outdoors. Have a safe and happy New Year's from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Winter is actually a good time to paint. The paint store over here in Van Buren has the most popular colors on large sample boards so you can see the color in your home. Rather do some outside painting? Our low temperature application product allows you to paint down to 35 degrees. It's okay. Experience hometown customer service you won't get at a national brand and get free professional advice from our 34 years of experience. Come see Sue and her team at the paint store in Van Buren. Find us on the internet.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
McFadden pulls up down the middle. Peyton Hillis, touchdown Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
There was a funny picture that Razorback football put out yesterday of Grant Morgan's head just right next to the giraffe. Now, I know a lot of you have gone to the zoo, whether you're as a parent, as a grandparent, or as a kid, but many of you, like myself, have fed a giraffe a banana or a peach or whatever the fruit was back in the day, and I was just cracking up seeing that picture. It looks like the team enjoyed themselves bowling earlier this week, enjoyed going to Busch Gardens, and hopefully they'll enjoy kicking Penn State's butt on Saturday, but just kind of want to talk about their experience coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, start your new year with Joe's Grill and Cantina. They have a daily special basically every day. Yesterday was half-price apps and taps, which we talk about during the games all day long. Mondays is Mexicali Monday. Coming up on Friday, well, tomorrow for New Year's Eve will be Fajita Fridays. They always have a great special on fajitas. Tuesdays and Saturdays, dollar tacos. It's Taco Tuesday, and then all day on Saturday, the dollar tacos. And then, of course, during every televised Hog game, you can get half-price apps and taps, so don't miss out on that. It's all at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. Call ahead for to-go orders at 478-9600. That's 478-9600 or joesgrillfortsmith.com.
Me in Clarksville said the giraffe ad. Again, go to Raceback Football social media page so you can see what I can talk about. But Tommy, are you a roller coaster guy? Have we had this conversation before?
Yeah, I'll ride a roller coaster with you.
Okay.
So.
Do you go?
I've got one kid that loves them, one that won't get on them, but I think he's turning the corner. But my youngest, she'll ride any of them. It don't matter how many loops, how many twists and turns, she'll ride them all. So she loves them. So I have to go on them with her.
Okay.
So I've learned to love them.
That's surprising, Dylan. I figured getting into football, I would just assume the younger daughter wouldn't find them.
She's a dare. I mean, we're at the beach right now, and the water's like 50-something degrees. She's been in it. No one else wants to get in. It's too cold. I mean, she's out there riding the boogie board. She's fearless. She's my fearless one.
Does she have a skimboard, Tommy? Do you know what that is? A skimboard?
No, I don't know what that is.
Skimboard is when you mentioned the boogie board. I've done that plenty of times, but the skimboard is when you slide it across the sand and kind of the wet part of it, and then you jump on it, and then you hit a wave.
No, I don't guess we have one of those, but I don't even want to get my toes in the water. It's that cold, but she's out there, waist deep. So she's my fearless one. So she loves the roller coasters, and he's turning the corner on these kind of things as he's gotten a little older. But he's certainly been the more cautious of the two. So we'll just say he gets it from his mother. So.
Just the safety reminder for you, Tommy. Full-grown hammerhead sharks can swim in water as shallow as 3 feet. So
thank you.
Just remember that.
So yeah,
I was gonna
be. As you can tell, this girl does not live her life in fear.
I'm gonna have to give Dylan a hard time next time I see him about not being on a.
He's getting a little better on that stuff. I mean, we spent a lot of time throwing the football around. But anyway, I know that wasn't your question. Your question was something else.
Well, it's just about you and stuff. But I saw there was a few football guys that were not. I always call it the Tower of Terror. Different.
Wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Are you a roller coaster guy?
Yeah, I love them.
You'll get on one.
Yeah, right. No, I don't. Okay. It's. I would be a little skeptical to get on that thing that just flings you with a wire cable. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I've done that before.
Have you? I haven't done.
You talking about bungee jumping or?
But it's at the theme park itself.
Where it pulled you and somebody else all the way up, and then one of you's got to rip the cord.
Yeah,
and
rip the
free
cord.
fall. And back
that would be a little skeptical,
but
but I've done plenty of roller coasters. I know the Silver Dollar City is not necessarily known for just its like crazy, scary roller coasters, but I've been there, worlds of fun, and I've been to
try that time traveler up there at Silver Dollar. I want to try that one. We haven't been back. The lines just got too long for us, but that time traveler's new since we've been there last.
That
was the one that spins sideways.
Ooh.
That's what gets me when it spins in a circle, like the teacups. And, I can ride about any carnival ride you want to ride, but put me on the teacups that go round and round in a circle. I'm out. Well,
the fans seem to be interacting. There was a really sweet moment. Jalen Catalon, who again's not going to be playing in this game, he went over to a little girl and gave her a prize that I think he'd won. I don't know what he'd won it from, but I thought that was cool. So, fans getting to see some of their heroes, and I think about like one of my favorite things as a young kid was getting to meet football and basketball players, and I know for the Arkansas fans down in Tampa, they're getting that kind of experience. But back to the Tower of Terror thing, I think it was Joe Fouché, Grant Morgan, and KJ Jefferson. They go up, Tommy, and they come back down. KJ's asking people to feel his heart because of how much it's like beating right now. So he's like, "Hey, feel this," and it's just like I can only imagine just the heartbeat per minute that he and the other people on the ride are having. But have you done one of? It's been a while. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's been a while since I've been to a fair or a carnival or an amusement park or something like that. But I did always enjoy going on those Tower of Terror type of rides, like. Those three guys enjoyed it yesterday.
Yeah, we've been to Busch Gardens, but it's probably been 7 or 8 years ago, something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood. We were in Orlando and drove over for the day, and it's associated with SeaWorld. They're like sister parks or whatever. So if you buy a ticket to one, you can, for a few bucks, upgrade and have an unlimited time to get in over at Busch Gardens. So we did that one day when we took the kids to SeaWorld. And it was pretty neat. Now, the kids weren't at an age to ride many of those rides then, but we had probably one of our better theme park experiences there at Busch Gardens. So we really enjoyed that day in Tampa and that. But the kids were, probably 3 and 4, 4 and 5, something like that at that time. But that's a really nice amusement park and what you'd expect when you go to Florida, kind of on that level to see down there.
I can't remember where we went in SeaWorld. I just remember that Shamu getting to sit in the splash zone, which my dad did not want to, but we forced him to. And for my brother and myself, who were less than 10 years old or right around that age, we just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's what we went down there to see Shamu and all that. And I think there's 3 for SeaWorld. There's San Antonio, San Diego, and, of course, Orlando.
Okay, so San Antonio, because that's the only of the 3 places. So we went there. That would have been in 2007. We got to go to Schlitterbahn, the largest water park in the world. That was quite an experience back in the day. I need to go back to an amusement park. I just don't. I'm 27, so unless I'm with my nephew or niece, I don't really have just a reason to go by myself, basically.
Yeah, so these are fun things though for the team to do, and they're typical bowl activities. Go bowling, go to amusement parks. That's one of the reasons you want the Florida Bowl games is you get to do some of these amusement parks that just honestly don't exist in a lot of other places. So, all right, more to come on roller coasters as we move through the morning. We are brought to you by our friends at River City Bistro. Have you tried brunch on the weekends? One of our favorite places. Ty, Drew, myself, Maddie T loves it. We all go to brunch on the weekends at River City Bistro. So if you haven't tried that out, Saturday and Sunday mornings, beginning at 10 a.m., they'll have a great brunch for you. So stop in and check that out in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. Brunch every Saturday and Sunday mornings to start the new year at River City Bistro in Fort Smith.
Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, joins us next.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
Start 2022 with a splash from Burton Pools and Spas. Save up to $5,000 on a fiberglass in-ground pool. This is a limited time offer from Burton Pools and Spas. Only the first 15 customers will save $5,000 off a new in-ground fiberglass pool. Invest in your family and the backyard of your dreams at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
Your company is known for top pay and great salaries, but how do your benefits compare to the competition? Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. In today's competitive labor market, great pay is no longer enough. Call me at 479-651-2292 and let's discuss your benefit plans to make sure your company has what it needs to attract and retain the best talent. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call me today, 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Winter is actually a good time to paint. The paint store over here in Van Buren has the most popular colors on large sample boards so you can see the color in your home. Rather do some outside painting? Our low temperature application product allows you to paint down to 35 degrees. It's okay. Experience hometown customer service you won't get at a national brand and get free professional advice from our 34 years of experience. Come see Sue and her team at the paint store in Van Buren. Find us on the internet.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday for bar football, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Reliable high-speed internet is available to rural Johnson County. Arkansas Valley Electric members in Oark, Ozone, Lake Ludwig, Mount Vernon, Harmony, and other areas north and west of Clarksville can sign up now for fiber internet, TV, and phone service starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Ready for something sweet, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I just got a big batch of cars. Now I'm on a mission to spread holiday cheer. So forget the cookies, because during my Christmas car exchange, you could save a lot of dough on a Rath road-ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and save up to $4,709 based on the car you choose. That's right, this month you could trade and save. Keeping the car you have, keep it running this winter with a free winter-ready inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. So this December, fatten your wallet, not your waistline, only during my Christmas car exchange. But hurry, this deal's done after the first 61 people start driving better. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
And Derby's got the first down. A.J. Derby then hits the speed. How about that? Did he stay in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
Did you miss a segment or interview during the show? Find it in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Going to be welcomed in by Brad Crawford of 24/7 Sports. Coming up, also got some headlines to get to this hour as we wrap up this one of a Thursday edition. Again, Recruiting Thursday. Richard Davenport will be joining us at 8 o'clock. And little shift, Clay Henry's going to be joining us all throughout the 7 o'clock hour as well, Tommy.
You know, local service, it's the only kind of service you're going to get from Farm Credit. They've got branch locations all across our listing area, and the local branch staff who will help make and close the loan you'll get with Farm Credit are the same people servicing your loan for the life of the loan. So, you know, you don't have to worry about it ever being sold off or a letter coming certifying that, hey, your payments now go to this company rather than Farm Credit. Just won't happen. All the loans stay in the Farm Credit of Western Arkansas portfolio over the life of the loan. That means you'll never get that letter saying change the address to where they go. Not going to happen. So when you walk in the door at Farm Credit, their employees know you by name, and that's pretty unique in today's business world. Go to Farm Credit, one of their local branch locations. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com.
Brad, appreciate you making some time for us this morning as we get closer and closer, not only to Arkansas's bowl game, but the college football playoff tomorrow night. And really all eyes in this state are going to be on what KJ Jefferson has to offer against Penn State. And slowly but surely, he's gotten better. We've seen him have a monster November. Brad, what has impressed you the most about KJ Jefferson the back half of the season?
Yeah, I think just his leadership, really. I mean, Arkansas started the season 4-0. You know, they were inside the top 15, and then they had that 3-game losing streak. And then, I mean, to win, you know, 4 of the last 5 games, to get to 8-4 against the nation's toughest schedule, and really, you know, KJ had a huge hand in that. You know, beating Missouri into the season, that Alabama game losing by 7. I mean, that's one of the more impressive showings of Arkansas all season, and it came during a loss. So, yeah, Arkansas minus 2.5 in the Outback Bowl is one of my favorite bets of bowl season. That line has been off for several days, but now it's back to 2.5. So looking forward to that game and really seeing KJ top off the end of this season with a solid performance.
Matt Corral's heading to the NFL. Will Rogers, he's still going to be here. But I look at Bryce Young, returning Heisman quarterback. I think KJ has a really good chance to solidly be in the mix for a top 3 quarterback in the SEC next year. Now, some here, including myself, just based on what could happen if they beat Penn State and projecting next year with that schedule that's even tougher than the last 2 years. Brad, in your opinion, if KJ puts up better numbers than he did this year, is there a realistic opportunity that he could be a dark horse Heisman candidate in 2022?
I think certainly. I mean, Arkansas opens the season against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's probably going to be a top 10 team. You know, we don't know if the Bearcats are going to be as good as they have been the past 2 seasons because Desmond Ritter's not going to be there. Obviously, they're going to lose probably a first-round pick on defense as well. But that's going to be a marquee game, and I think the Hogs really have a shot at starting the season 3-0, getting inside that top 15 again, you know, before they go to Arlington and play A&M, and then it's Bama. So, I mean, KJ's going to get several spotlight opportunities, and as you guys know, y'all, I mean, in the Heisman race, if you have a quality September, you know, you've got a really good shot to kind of stay in the mix the rest of the way. So, like you said in the opening, though, I think KJ has a shot at, you know, opening the season as the SEC's number 2 quarterback behind Bryce Young and maybe right up there with a guy like Spencer Rattler in South Carolina.
Brad, for a conference that prides itself on being the best and the conference of champions and all of these things, you've started out 0-4 as a league for the Southeastern Conference. What do you attribute to the very slow, putrid start for the SEC in bowl season so far?
Yeah, I tell you what, man, it's been a very ugly start. I'm not sure it gets a whole lot better. The Gamecocks are a 10.5-point underdog today against North Carolina. I do think Tennessee gets the SEC's first win against Purdue. But, I mean, you know, you look at some of these losses so far, a lot of these teams, man, have been playing with second-team quarterbacks. They've had some notable opt-outs or COVID issues defensively. I mean, Mississippi State the other night was playing with 2 of 5, you know, starting offensive linemen. But I'm not a guy who makes excuses for the SEC. Some of of these losses have been to not so great teams. I mean, Texas Tech was, a 10-point underdog and won by 4 touchdowns. So that was kind of inexcusable there from Mike Leach. But, bowl season, for whatever reason so far for the SEC, just has not started the way most folks who follow this conference expect.
Well, and you mentioned, sometimes there's reasons and sometimes there's excuses, and COVID and illness and opt-outs have created some reasons for some teams not playing to their level. Does that change the way you view the importance of bowl games? I know when you win, it was, the greatest win in bowl history for the program a lot of times for fans, but how do you view the value of the bowl games and how much weight we should put in them with everything kind of in that pot of gumbo there with the opt-outs, the injuries, the COVID situations? How much value are you putting on the run-of-the-mill bowl game this year and its outcome?
Yeah, I think bowl season, man, especially these matchups before Christmas and just after, I mean, the importance level has started to diminish a bit. I mean, we've got 42 bowl games now during this 2021 bowl season slate. I mean, 84 teams get to bowl season. There's only 131, right, in FBS. So if you're not a team that gets to 6 wins, you must have really had a bad year. So it doesn't mean as much to play in a postseason game anymore in college football. And I'm not sure a lot of these players, man, are viewing this as a reward anymore because, I mean, you've got several, probably 12 to 14 teams who had to miss the Christmas break because they were in a different city, in a different state, practicing for what amounts to an exhibition game. So, I mean, I do think the teams playing in the New Year's Six, some of these teams playing on New Year's Day, these upper to elite tier bowl games, they're still important. But yeah, I mean, if I'm on the college football bowl committee in January when all those folks meet and talk about what happened this month, it's going to be a very interesting conversation to see how bowl season shapes up from here on out.
Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, on with us here this morning. Brad, college football playoff, I'm excited. Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, Cincinnati. And Kirby Smart's been asked several times about the quarterback situation. He answered it again yesterday. Stetson is our starting quarterback. I know JT Daniels recently coming after a reported COVID, but do you think there's any controversy heading into this game tomorrow, or do you think that Stetson Bennett has clearly locked up that number 1 quarterback job?
Yeah, I think it's more or less a fan/media narrative, heading into this game. Look, I mean, Stetson Bennett has been the starter basically for 11 of 13 weeks this season. Georgia was 12-0. Nobody complained about the production at the quarterback spot until they got behind against Alabama. And look, it wasn't Stetson Bennett that lost that game in Atlanta. It was Georgia's top-ranked defense giving up 500 yards, and most of those coming to the Heisman winner and Bryce Young. So I think a lot of Georgia fans who maybe wanted to see JT Daniels play in that game maybe should look in the mirror and look at that defense that just kind of got exposed. But I mean, yeah, if I'm a Georgia fan right now, I'm slightly worried going into that game tomorrow night. I think it will be one of the best games of bowl season and two quality teams. So if Georgia's defense cannot get pressure on Cade McNamara and stop that really vaunted Michigan rushing attack, it's going to be a game that comes down to the final moment. So, like you said, though, I'm looking forward to both games. I think we're going to see 2 quality matchups. A lot of times during the college football playoff, man, we see at least one blowout in the 2 games. So it's kind of interesting to try and project which one of those 2 games is going to be, lopsided.
Yeah, and it's screaming of storylines, right? You've got Cinderella versus Goliath. You've got the redemption story in Georgia trying to redeem themselves after they lost to Alabama to a new-look Michigan team under Jim Harbaugh, their first college football playoff appearance. I think the Alabama line's sitting around like 17 and the Georgia line sitting around like 7.5. So, like you said, you're really excited. I'm excited. A lot of people are excited. How do you expect these games to play out tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, Brad?
Yeah, if I had to make a play on both of them, I'd probably tease the game and try to get the lines a bit lower. Bama right now is a 2-touchdown favorite. Playing that game by itself, I do think Alabama wins that game by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm just not confident that Cincinnati quarterback Desmond Ridder is going to be able to make enough plays against that Alabama defense. And with John Mechie out for Alabama at wide receiver, that does make it interesting. I mean, Cincinnati's two best players are both their starting cornerbacks, Kobe Bryant and Ahmad Gardner. You know, they're going to be kind of shell bracket covering Jamison Williams. If you're able to take him out the game, maybe Cincy has a shot. But that night game, 7.5 right now, it's very dangerous taking Georgia to cover that, you know, touchdown in the hook, as the experts say. Michigan's super motivated. You know, Georgia has not, besides playing Will Anderson, has not faced a defensive end as good as Aiden Hutchinson. So Georgia needs to get a lead early in that game. But, yeah, if I was betting both of them, I'd probably do a little parlay teaser and take Alabama and Georgia. But I expect two competitive ball games.
Brad, I want to come back to maybe the business side of the bowls a little bit. We're talking about money with the gambling aspect. You know, these teams get a bowl payout, as we know, and a lot of times that goes into the conference pool, and then they divide it up after expenses. I saw an article with NC State. There's been, I think, 5, maybe 6 bowl games. Either opponents have changed or the game have been canceled at this point. NC State travels all the way to San Diego only to have their opponent, UCLA, bail out on them. Now the bowl isn't going to pay out. They've got the expenses of the travel. The coaches' contracts call for bowl bonuses, and then for Dave Doran, a bonus based on the number of wins. If he had gotten to 10, he won't get the chance now unless they find an opponent. What should be the policy for college football? What should happen moving forward? Because we just think about the game not being played. Behind the scenes, there's millions of dollars in expenses and income and all of those things that have to be straightened out. What should happen in that front moving forward? Because I think that's going to be a larger conversation in some ways in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, right now we don't have much oversight in college football, right? There's no czar who's making decisions, you know, after some of these tough situations like NC State experienced. I'm in North Carolina, man, and I was told this week that NC State spent around $1.3 million to get out to San Diego before Christmas, be there for the Holiday Bowl. They were expecting that $6.5 million payout, and while it's split between ACC teams, that would have really taken a chunk of that burden off the travel expense. And now you've got Dave Doran, who now with that 10th win because of the forfeit cancellation, whatever you want to call it, is owed about $250,000 bonus. So, it's a dire financial situation for NC State right now. We saw the Wolfpack also get called home from Omaha over the Summer College World Series for COVID issues too. So, NC State fans have really felt the brunt. But if I was making the call for college football, to limit some of these opt-outs, you've got to start paying players a certain stipend for playing in these bowl games. And then, with the current COVID issues affecting all of these matchups, we have to alter protocol based on, CDC guidelines. I think college football, is sort of behind the 8 ball a little bit and has not updated its protocol like, the NFL and NBA has done. So COVID's here to stay, man. It's not going anywhere. Thank goodness that Omicron looks like a lessened version of what we've experienced now for 2 seasons.
At least in the short term, should maybe 5 or 6, 10, 12, I don't know the number of teams, be declared as standbys, if you will, for bowl games, that, hey, you only won 5 or maybe 6 games, but you're not in a bowl, but you're going to be allowed to practice in the event that you're called up to a bowl game, because that's one of the challenges is, well, who do you go get? What team wants to go out and play a game when they haven't had any practice or preparation? Is that maybe one of the things that should be looked at least in the short term till we get through this COVID situation?
That certainly could be considered. I think one of the main issues is allowing players to go home for 2 weeks and then expecting these guys, to be with their friends and families, maybe some may be vaccinated, some might not be, and then returning for, 2 weeks of practice and a game. I mean, no other sport does that. So maybe if we start this, bowl slate the weekend after conference championship games, we'd see less opt-outs. We'd see less COVID-related issues. Of course, then you run into coaches complaining, that they can't recruit during the early signing period. So college football has a lot of questions to answer this offseason, man. I'm not sure that everything is going to be fixed in time for the 2022 season, but certainly interesting seeing the parameters of bowl season and how things are shifting, really on a 24-hour basis.
Brad, one last question before we let you go. Arch Manning's the top quarterback in the class of 2023. And I was amazed to watch highlights of him on the basketball court. Apparently his dad, Cooper, and we know he's the nephew of both Eli and Peyton Manning, has told him that he's going to play multiple sports before he gets to college. How important do you think it is in today's day and age that we continue to see high school kids play multiple sports throughout their high school experience?
Yeah, I think it's super important, man. You ask any college recruiter and personnel director within these college football programs, and they tell you, we look for athletes, we look for competitors, and then they mention size and, whether they qualify and that sort of thing. So, I mean, everybody wants to see multi-sport athletes. How well does a player run? How well does a player move side to side? Agility ratings, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's super important. I don't really expect Arch Manning to play two sports at the college level, though. I know he's been saying that. I mean, he's a future number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, if you ask me, 5 years out. So it'll be very interesting to see, where he signs, who lands him, and if he does intend on playing two sports, I think it takes a few of these teams at the top of his list out of the game, like maybe a Clemson or Georgia.
Well, we appreciate your time this morning, Brad. Again, Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports. Enjoy the college football playoff tomorrow night. Enjoy the Arkansas games and the rest of the SEC slate this weekend. And, Brad, I'll see you at SEC Media Days next year.
Thanks a lot, fellas. Good to see you, man.
All right, good stuff from Brad this morning, Tommy.
Good conversation there. We'll break that down here in just a minute. Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at Oakland. Coming up tomorrow, Lane Whitman's going to join us with some picks for the weekend. If you haven't paid attention or didn't know, racing is back. In fact, they've raced 3 weekends in December at this point, and back at it this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll get ready for a big card this weekend. If you haven't been to the Apple App Store and downloaded the all-new app from Oakland, you need to do that. In fact, when you sign up now as a new user of the Oakland Anywhere app, use promo code RUSH22. That's the code you put in, RUSH22, and you get a $150 sign-on bonus right now just because you listen here to the Morning Rush. This weekend, the $250,000 Smarty Jones Stakes. That's coming up New Year's Day. They're going to have a full weekend of racing every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all the way through May the 8th, and you can get more information and more details at oaklandanywhere.com. Join now. It's absolutely free to get the app so you can watch, wager, and enjoy the races on your smartphone, tablet, or computer anywhere you're at. That's oaklandanywhere.com and the promo code RUSH22 to sign up now for your $150 sign-on bonus.
Some headlines to get into this morning. Arkansas loses now 7 of their last 8 against Mississippi State. They fall 81-68 last night in the Hump. The big storyline coming out of it was really prior to the game, as J.D. Note and Chance Moore have illness that Coach Muss didn't really go into, and then Kamani Johnson is indefinitely suspended. Kamani put something on his social media, said, "I would like to apologize for my careless and selfish actions over the next few months. I've let my family, teammates, staff, and our entire fan base down." He would go on to just kind of elaborate on that. Tommy, I always wonder, and I get it, coaches want to keep stuff in-house, but with them not announcing, and this isn't just a Muslim thing, it's really to anyone, but it leads us to speculate, right? It leads us to just to guess what he did without us all. I feel like coaches would be better off sometimes as he did this, he did that, he's going to be out. I know we're never going to get that, especially in today's age, but now all fans and media members can do is try and guess and try and not Tom Hardy, Sherlock Holmes their way to the truth, which we don't really have in our repertoire right now.
Well, I don't think we should be speculating on that. I mean, I understand the mind wants to wonder. I think eventually most of these things you bubble to the surface and you at least get enough of the truth you can kind of figure it out. But give Johnson or give Coach Muss or whoever for putting that statement together and putting that out there. I know what Trey Williams had to put one out following his situation that led to the end of his. I mean, taking ownership of your actions, even though they're not always pretty, that's sometimes one of the lessons you got to learn in this is to ask for forgiveness, say you're sorry, ask for forgiveness, and move on. And those are sometimes bitter things to type, bitter things to say, but it shows a sign of maturity and remorse for doing that. But I'm with you from the standpoint we'd all love to know the dirty details here of what happened. Sometimes they're not nearly as bad as where your mind goes, and that's the bad part is where you think they've done something far worse than what's happened because, hey, it's got to be bad if you're suspended from the team. Well, not necessarily. And so we simply don't know. And my guess is, like most of these things, next few weeks we'll probably get enough information to figure it out.
We mentioned earlier this week that 2 Dallas Cowboy assistant coaches were being linked to the Jacksonville Jaguars job. Well, according to Adam Schefter, Dan Quinn has decided not to interview for the Jags job in the window that he's allowed to. Didn't say anything about Kellen Moore, but my immediate thought to this is that job attractive, Tommy? If you're a prospective head coach, I know Trevor Lawrence is there. They've got some offensive pieces, but we were kind of debating earlier this week. I mean, is that a job you want to take if you're a coach that's either had a head coaching experience or you're trying to make that your first NFL job?
Well, we were talking about this yesterday, and the bottom is closer to the top in college or in pro football than it is probably anywhere else in sports, professional, collegiate, otherwise. So you can win there. And what you were saying, what? Was it 4 years ago they were in the AFC
2017, yep. They almost beat Brady.
It's not been that long ago since they've had success. But what we do know is Jacksonville historically has not been a contender for a division or a conference title or anything. So you do have quite a mountain to climb. If you can go there and you can win, though, you'll probably move on to bigger and better things in larger markets.
Got to wait and see who ends up becoming that head coach.
Any head coaching job, when there's only 32 of them in the world, is pretty attractive, though. It's kind of like being a coach in the SEC. That's why it's so attractive. There's only 14 of these jobs, and the NFL, that's pretty lofty stuff there, obviously. So.
I have some bad news to share this morning. Oklahoma did end up winning last night, 47-32 over the Oregon Ducks. This was a pretty high-profile Alamo Bowl, I'd say, between Oklahoma and it's not many times I think the Alamo Bowl is going to get 2 marquee programs like the Ducks and the Sooners that they were able to secure last night.
I'll say this about the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, that I don't know what's going to happen with that bowl moving forward, and there's going to be some shakeup with alignments. I hope that becomes an SEC bowl. Maybe they'll move away from the Big 12. That would be, I think, an awesome place to get placed as a And that's one of the better bowls, obviously, for the Big 12. It would be middle of the pack at best in the SEC, but I would love for that bowl and that destination to be on the list of places we might get to go, and it'd be good for recruiting for the teams on the western side of the conference.
Last headline for you this morning, Tommy, it is Tiger Woods' birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Woods. Really the best golfer of my generation. I know the debate is ongoing. I think most people still think it's Jack, which I think the majors and the second place majors speak for himself. But you got a favorite. We got about 15 seconds. You got a favorite Tiger Woods memory that flows through your brain right now?
Well, I think it's when the ball rolled in on the chip that, in Vern's moment there on 16 at Augusta would probably be my favorite. It's also, by the way, LeBron's birthday today. So LeBron and Tiger born on the same calendar day, just not the same calendar year. And Tiger and I were born one day apart. So I guess if I'd have been born a day earlier, I'd have been
would have been cool.
Great golfer. But I don't know. I don't know if that maybe that was the day God was handing out great follow through and great form on the golf course. I don't know. All right, Clay Henry going to join us coming up. We're brought to you by Williams Tractor. Value Bonanza Days are going on now at Williams Tractor. You can stop in and save a bundle during Value Bonanza Days, so don't miss that at Williams Tractor. They're in Berryville, they're in Fayetteville, and they're in at Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. It's Value Bonanza Days going on now at Williams Tractor, Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. Tractors, hay and forage products, material handling equipment, these offers end tomorrow. So get by today at Williams Tractor. More choices, more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza Days at Williams Tractor.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers,
in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $400 million. So, what would you do if you won?
I'd buy a baseball team.
Ooh, I would definitely buy my mom a Tesla so that she can drive cool, look cool.
If I won a jackpot, I'll start a cooking school for the youth in the city.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $400 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas gives you more ways to save. Save big with 0% financing and cashback offers on select New Holland tractors, hay, and forage products, and materials handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and C&H Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Whether you are visiting one of Arkansas's beautiful national parks, or traveling, or maybe just living the RV lifestyle, Breeden RV has everything you'll need to make your trip a successful one. We have new travel trailers starting at just $158 a month, all the way up to Class A, B, and C motorhomes, and fifth wheels from all the names you know and trust: Thor, Forest River, Coachman, Keystone, and more. Check out the great selection of pre-owned inventory, and we are actively looking to buy your RV as well. Have a safe and happy new year from your friends at Breeden RV. BreedenRVs.com.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In, Miss Anna's on Towson, and the Airedale Diner in Alma. I'm not saying that I'm older than dirt, but I've been around for a day or two, and I have to admit the last 2 years are unlike anything I've ever seen. Our chicken supplier's out of chicken, our fish supplier's out of fish, and our ketchup supplier's out of ketchup. Really? And don't get me started about the toilet paper thing. To be honest, I'm just grateful that we survived. And that's in no small part because of you. We know there is no us without you. You remembered to shop small and shop local, and you remembered when you shop local, your money stays in your town. You gave us the ability to stay afloat during some pretty trying times, and for that, we're very grateful. So on behalf of myself, my family, and our great staffs, we'd like to simply say thank you. And thank you for continuing to let me say Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s. Tonight, an increase in the cloud cover, upper 40s to low 50s. Friday, we'll see an increasing chance of showers and storms, highs near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Maddie T with Halftime, wishing you a Happy New Year.
This is Drew Barrett from Halftime, wishing all of you a Happy New Year from ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shed. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
It's over in Starkville, and the Razorbacks have dropped their conference opener to Mississippi State, 81-68. Our final score. The Hogs come up short in the hump in the conference opener for both teams.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I
hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
Changing it up here on a recruiting Thursday. Tom Murphy is going to be joining us tomorrow. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated with Whole Hog Sports, is going to be joining us this entire hour. So if you've got a question for Clay or Tommy or myself, feel free to text those in. Clay's yet to share his thoughts on the passing of John Madden at the age of 85, so we're going to let him do that. We've got some other stuff I want to get into this hour. The basketball game last night. John Ridgway had some funny comments in the Gorilla, and then we also got a chance to catch up with both James Franklin and Coach Pittman as well yesterday.
All right, Clay, in just a moment, hey, is your business struggling with a website that doesn't generate new traffic, doesn't generate new leads, or ultimately new customers for your business? It's probably the website that's the problem. So turn to our friends at Matchstick Studios. Jordan and his crew can create a great-looking website that has all the features you need to attract new customers in 2022. Start the process now with a phone call today to 479-755-3043. That's 755-3043. Or you can go online and look at what I'm talking about at modularorange.com. Great-looking websites that'll work for your business. And I buried the lead here. $95 a month. That's what it cost. $95 a month for them to create you one of these great websites that will help your business. Only $95 a month. 755-3043, or again online to see what I'm talking about at modularorange.com.
Clay, John Madden had a number of great quotes and sayings and comments, and we played some of them yesterday. When you heard the news, I know you don't pay as much attention to the NFL because you're really busy on Sundays, but this is one of the most revered broadcasters ever. What were your initial thoughts when you saw this breaking yesterday?
Yeah, I think there was probably a time in my life when I wasn't doing magazines on Sunday when Madden was seen by my household a lot more, and I think everybody enjoyed him. I think he was fun. I think he brought in, even though he talked the coach speak. He explained plays, explained techniques. He wasn't so technical that it was just washed right over the non-football people in the room. There are people in the room that just enjoy the pageantry of what football is, and you're a fan, but you don't really know the minute details of what's going on. But and he was perfect for them. I mean, it's just like you didn't ever turn off the game because of him. And there are so many announcers that's what happens. If the game is not top notch, you turn the game off.
Yeah.
And he, just the little sound effects that he did, a guy, the right tackle's pulling into the left guard hole, and, here he comes, and he's explaining it to him, and he goes, BAM! And you loved it, right?
Yeah,
Tell me you loved it, right? That part of him?
Hey, take us back, because I don't have a working knowledge of this, and Ty certainly doesn't, of him we all know him as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
We didn't know him as a coach as much. I know it was a short career, not a lot of games, but he had a fear of flying that kind of moved him into broadcasting. Tell us more about John Madden as a coach, because you've got a perspective maybe on that or a memory of that a lot of us in our audience probably don't remember much about other than what we've learned the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah, first of all, he was a winner, and he had Stabler, and he let Stabler deal, and that was what I remember the most. The Super Bowl against the Vikings, I kind of remember that a little bit. I think I was pulling for the Vikings. That would have been back in the Jim Lindsay days, right? And I wanted them to win, but it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. It was with the Snake. You were gonna spend more time watching that Madden. I mean, he was the guy. But I guess the beginning of the video games is kind of what I was like, that's the thing that sets him apart, and it mainstreamed him. I mean, it just, and with the young kids, it didn't really matter if they knew much about him as a coach. They're all the ones. He's their hero. He brought them something to do to kill. How many hours are there in a week, Tommy?
Let me do the math real quick, but 200-ish?
Yeah, so that it gave kids the ability to kill 180 hours a week.
168 hours in a week.
Yeah, so they were killing 150 hours with Coach John.
Yeah.
I know, because I had kids that my kids played sports with, and you'd go to pick them up, and their parents would have to go get them. It's like, hey, we got practice today. Oh yeah, but this game is going on, and so and so's waiting to play, and it's like, turn it off. We're going to practice. No, we'd rather play video. We'd rather play John Madden.
Yeah,
and that's the truth, right?
Yeah,
Do you have that with your house now with Fortnite?
Yeah, that and my son plays Madden NFL football. I mean, I'll go in there and he's got the Cardinals playing the Cowboys or whoever. It's a different matchup all the time with his online, Madden football buddies and his buddies from school that log on. And my son wouldn't know John Madden certainly as a coach, and he doesn't even know him as a broadcaster. He'll be 12 next month. But he knows the game, and he knows who John Madden is, and he was the one that I was cleaning up from dinner the other night, and he was the one to tell me, hey, John Madden's died. He knew exactly who John Madden was solely because of a video game.
Well, did it give you an opportunity to kind of expand his knowledge on Madden? Did that conversation come up?
I didn't have to, because with Google, he knew he'd done all that quite a bit on his own, so he knew who John Madden was.
Yeah, that's good.
So he knew all about him. So, but there's no question that his name, guys, and his brand, as we talked about yesterday, Ty, it's not going away anytime soon. And the name John Madden and Madden NFL football, I've got like I said, a 12-year-old playing it now, and my guess is when his kids are old enough to play whatever they're playing then, Madden something or another, NFL is going to be around.
As long as
he's the guy that if you were going to go cross country in a bus, that's who you'd want to be with, right?
Him or John Daly. I'm not sure which.
No, I think I would rather have the coach. I want to get there, Tom, safely.
And I don't think you'd want
to without breaking laws.
Yeah, you don't want to be coerced into certain things that might occur on John Daly's bus that could disrupt your mind, if you will.
I love John Daly. Don't get me wrong. No.
Yeah.
Both would be entertaining though. For a cross-country bus ride.
One would be more of the kids' Disney movie. The other would be the first R-rated movie. You saw maybe an NC-17.
Probably so.
I mean, John Madden, John Daly, or Snoop Dogg. I know one of the three. You just draw them out of a hat. It'd be a fun ride.
They might be both be playing John Madden, though, right?
They would all know about John Madden. I promise you, Little John knows about Madden football.
We, as we wrap up this year, I remember when we got a chance. We just out of the blue called the bus caravanning. I forgot what game it was, but Quinn and Chuck and Z, they were playing. I think they were playing Madden in the back, right? Yeah.
They were.
Okay.
That's Grovey. Grovey was playing. Nobody else was. He was playing people online.
Yeah.
Tournaments, I think.
Yeah. That's what Dylan
Yeah,
does.
Z said you got to watch. That's the closest that you got to playing.
You weren't going to get next with him. Hey, if you missed our conversation yesterday with Brett Good, we had a good conversation about John Madden. You can catch that in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast. Hey, if you're looking for new health benefits for your company, for your employees, or if you're looking for a better price or more bang for your buck, call our man Brett. He can help you with all the employee benefits, whether it's retirement plans, health insurance, group life, group dental, group vision, all of those things that become a headache and a nightmare a lot of times for HR people or small business owners. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292, and he'll treat you like family when you call Brett with Henderson Phillips. 651-2292, that's his direct number for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips.
When we come back, let's talk about this basketball game that we watched last night, plus who you taking in a ring, John Ridgway or a gorilla?
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback tight end Ben Cleveland, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
New FanDuel fantasy players. Your day is about to get 20% better. Start playing fantasy this football season, and FanDuel will give you a 20%
here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-39.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
I-40 in Salisaw.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Make Awake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork Coogan, and more. And Make Awake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
End-of-year savings at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto. Make your best deal of the year on the largest M7 Kubota cab tractor down to the small, dependable BX Kubota compact tractor. Come in before the end of the year and let us show you how to avoid the tax scrooge. Gray Brothers pricing and great rates on Kubota financing. Make now the time for your best deal at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto. See your tax advisor for details. Learn more at KubotaUSA.com.
Don't miss the New Year's Day sale at Jelco Outdoors. This Saturday, one day only, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 hours of savings throughout the store. Savings from 22 to 50% off selected clothing, footwear, Western boots, and sporting goods. It's the one day only New Year's Day sale at Jelco Outdoors. Have a safe and happy New Year's from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
6 carries, 32 yards for Smith. Frank's going to throw, got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas! Hudson Henry with his first touchdown as a Razorback, and the Hogs go up 20-7.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here and hitthatline.com.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. I want to talk about this basketball game that we saw last night. 81-68 over the over the Arkansas Razorbacks as Mississippi State comes out the victory. You have not fared well in Starkville in basketball. It has not been a good record. I think 7-23 is where you stand right now. They've won 7 in the last 8 against you. But we'll kind of dive in and just got to remember, college basketball is a little different from football. You can take a lot more out of a game in college football than you can basketball. There's a lot more games. There's 18 total conference games. We got 18 games remaining because the West Virginia game coming up in January. But we'll open this up for discussion coming up. We'll also get into the John Ridgway versus Gorilla conversation as well.
Hey, first let me tell you about the good folks over at Burton Pools and Spas. Their manufacturer on the fiberglass in-ground pools have given them a special deal they can offer and pass along the savings to you. They've got a $5,000 rebate or discount that you can apply today on the first 15 fiberglass in-ground pools. So if you've been thinking about a pool, you've been thinking that, hey, this is the year I take the plunge, no pun intended, hey, now is the time to do it. I know the weather outside really has been wet and nasty the last 24 hours or so, but think about the summer and what it's going to look like. Pretend like you're Clark Griswold looking out that kitchen window at the backyard in Christmas Vacation. That could be your yard this next summer. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you'll get Christy Brinkley off the diving board or Cousin Eddie, but you could probably have that neighbor you've always wanted to come over and have Ty come over and christen the pool with you. So 15 pools, $5,000 each, but you got to hurry. Once they get to 15, those savings are over. Burton Pools and Spa, Springdale, and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
You look at last night, it's not just one issue. Rebounding in the second half was bad. They had a guy come off the bench, their backup center, I think had 5 offensive rebounds. And I know Eric Musselman was frustrated with how the game played out. But and you don't know the timeline on J.D. Notte coming back for Vanderbilt next Tuesday, if he's going to be able to or not, based on what Coach Muss said. But, Clay, I'll let you kick this starting off. What did you take away from last night's game?
Well, what I see on this team is inconsistent defense, and when you go on the road and you give up in the 80s, not going to win many of those games. And I know a lot of people focus on the lack of offense, but you got to keep teams, under control where a little spurt, gives you a win. They were needing a 16-0 run middle of the second half to get back in the game, and it's you can't put that on your defense. So your defense in the first half and second half has to be better. And I saw too many times where people were getting to the rim, and so they've got to stop the ball. And turnovers and defense, to me, are the places where they can clean it up the quickest. And I know everybody wants to say, well, this guy's got to score, that guy's got to score. If you can eliminate, the fast break points and the turnovers, and you clean up your the ability to move your feet, I think you still have a chance. I do not think this is a league that's going to just overpower you. I think there's victories out there for them to win enough to get into the NCAA tournament. Don't see them contending for the SEC championship at this point. Thought they might, but that doesn't look like that's what's going to happen at this point.
You got, I think, 5 ranked teams in the league, Tommy. Auburn, LSU, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky. I think those are the 5 teams in the league. There might be one other that I'm missing, but with the addition of Mississippi State, who just beat you head-to-head, I think there's at least 6 teams that are better than you right now, maybe even more, but we know this is a long way away. Clay mentioned the turnovers and not playing defense. Mississippi State had 25 points off turnovers last night. 25 points. And even as we were talking about in hour one, without JD Note, you just wondered what this team would have even looked like with him out there in the second half yesterday.
I'm looking at the SEC scoreboard right now, guys, and all the teams that should have won kind of won last night, with the exception of Georgia, who got beat by Gardner-Webb. And you look at those ranked teams and those 5 numbers, and everything kind of fell in place. So it makes you wonder, where's Arkansas's place in this league? We know this will be, a 5, maybe 6-team bid league, to the tournament. Are you in that top half of the league, Clay? Because that's the conversation you start having daily in your head every time there's a game is, where's your place in making the tournament? And right now, forget about Sweet 16 and Elite Eights. This is a team that's going to have to play their tails off just to make the tournament, it appears.
Yeah, I think that's right. And when you have all hands on deck, maybe that's a little different, but you may not get all hands on deck. We don't know what's going to happen with Kamani, right? I watched Alabama and Tennessee, and then I watched Kentucky and Missouri. And those teams looked, not Missouri, but Kentucky, Alabama, and Tennessee, they looked a cut above Arkansas and Mississippi State in the way they played defense. And the intensity of the Alabama-Tennessee game was far and away warmer, hotter, whatever you want to call it, than what we saw Arkansas and Mississippi State. And maybe that's the atmosphere. You're playing in an empty building at the Hump, right? But it just, Arkansas didn't look like those teams. And Auburn would probably fit in there. I did not watch the Auburn-LSU game. But it's their defense, and the intensity of their defense has to improve.
Yeah. You mentioned defense, Clay. Last year, I remember Eric Musman, I locked in on this as immediately he said it. We're going to miss Justin Smith and Jalen Tate this year on defense. And when he said that, I was in person when he said that. I said, you know what? He's exactly right. Last year's defense, yeah, they were top 10 in the country in defensive efficiency. Top 10. Now, we can talk about the lottery pick in Moses Moody and his offensive ability. We can talk about how certain guys got it done, but it was hard to score on Arkansas at any point, or it's really not any point, but the second half of the season. It was not easy. You had to earn every single bucket. And guys, right now, as Clay just said, Tommy, it is they are nowhere near the same defensive intensity that they ended the season with last year.
And that's why I said what I did a moment ago. Forget about all this back to the Elite Eight, make Final Four, second weekend, third weekend talk. I don't know that this is a tournament team right now based on how many will come out of this league and kind of where you're playing right now. If the tournament was tomorrow, to borrow the cliche, I don't think Arkansas is in, even though you've won 10 games at this point. They do not, as Clay said, match up with some of the teams that are 4 or 5 teams at least that are ahead of you right now.
Brandon from Paris texted in. He says, is it poor defense right now, or is it a lack of talent or a lack of effort? I don't think it's a lack of talent, Brandon, but it's about cohesion too, right? They still have to figure it out. This team last year wasn't fully figured out by game 1 of the SEC play, but Clay, I mean, defensively, they just, and I don't know what they need to do. I think it's just about staying in front of your man. They're getting beat too many straight line drives. If
you can't stay in front of your man because of quickness, then that is talent. But I see Chris Likes, his is size. He does some things on offense that are way above what you would think his size could be able to do, because he can get to the rim and he can get fouled. He's a guy that shoots a lot of free throws. But on defense, he's a liability. And you knew that going in at 5'7". If you're going to play a pick and roll defense and he's the pick and roll, you're going to get him matched up with somebody bigger, right? Everybody on the floor is bigger, but he's going to go one up a man. So the liability that he is, in certain situations is being exposed at times. So that's they have to overcome that, and they have to decide if his offense overweighs, what his defensive liability is. I see some of their big men, they don't slide. They cannot stop the ball. Until you stop the ball, you continue to have people shoot from point-blank range.
I watched these games last night, Auburn, LSU, Alabama, and Tennessee. And another thing that stood out to me, there are some surefire NBA prospects on those rosters. You've got Kennedy Chandler for Tennessee, Jabari Smith for Auburn, J.D. Davidson for Alabama. Guys, as we sit here this morning, I think there's some on this that'll be on this roster next year, but are you sold on any individual right now being an NBA draft pick? Because I think you could say that about the 4 teams I just listed, but I don't know if you could say that about Arkansas right now, that there's one solid guy that you're saying, oh, this guy's a surefire NBA prospect.
Well, you've gotten so used to having lottery guys with Isaiah Joe and Moses Moody, and guys that were obvious one and done or lottery pick type, first round pick type guys. You certainly don't have anyone that fits that bill, and you've gotten used to that and spoiled the last few years with Isaiah and Moses, and there's nothing on that level that it appears right now that or anything coming that's going to be on that level either.
There's been times this year where Tony looked like he might be. And there's been times with Stanley Umude, but it's not been consistent enough that you get excited. So no, that has to change. The Jackson Robinson has elite level to shoot, and you never know what happens down the line. He's such a young player. I hate to make too many decisions on what he can and can't do going forward.
I know that Muss has talked about him defensively. It's not, and he goes 2 for 7 from the 3-point line last night. So not afraid to shoot it. I liked what I've seen from a DC Tony at points this year, but he's kind of slacked off the last couple. Not that he doesn't
defensive ability.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Stanley Umude. Stanley had one of his better games of the season. He goes 7 for 12, ends up with I think 19. Let me find 19 points last night, and he has spurts, but then he has spurts when he had like a consistency has been an element that this basketball team has been lacking as well. You're going to be, I know that Coach Muss has talked about them being pretty reliant on Likes and Note. Well, with Note going out with the illness, him and Chance Moore, and then Kamani with the suspension, you didn't really know where to go last night, and I think at times this last season, certain guys stepped up, like Jalen Tate had a hellacious NCAA tournament. He was the reason you won that Oral Roberts game, just taking Max Abmas down to the post, and I think he had 30-something in that game. He was incredible. And I think at points last season you had, whether it's Justin Smith, Tate, Moody, Desi even at times, you had certain guys step up, and I just don't think you've had that at points. When JD went out last night, they just really didn't have anyone step up in the second half to kind of take on that scoring elevation that they needed.
Yeah, and it's kind of like in football. We talked about this earlier, Clay. They kind of got behind, so they had to throw the ball rather than run the ball, and they couldn't attack the rim. They were taking too many first look threes in the second half, and that's part of it. When you're behind, you got to shoot threes, and it's kind of like in football. You don't want to be forced to pass. Well, they were kind of forced to take some threes last night and really didn't work their offense. I thought they got into that a little bit too early in the second half, and it led to some easy rebounds for State, and just continued to put Arkansas further and further behind.
One of the good things that happened is they shot Mississippi State out of the zone, and then that's when Mississippi State's defense became effective, and you would have thought that would have been just the opposite. Mm-hmm. So
right.
They did play the first 10 minutes, show some signs. All right, we can attack a zone. we've got some perimeter shooting. We're going to be all right. And then when Ben Howland called timeout and they got out of that zone. Arkansas did not have any answers.
Here's the other thing to look at last night's game, or yesterday's game, because you played it at 4. There's no one there. No students, no fans. And when they go to Knoxville, to Thompson Bowling, when they don't have to go to Rupp this year, when they go to Alabama, when they go to the Maravich Center and LSU, they just get Auburn at home. They don't have to travel to their place, luckily. Those are being tough road environments. So this team has to shore it up and get things going. And again, you get Vanderbilt on Tuesday night. No game this weekend for the Arkansas basketball team. Hopefully they'll get a chance. I don't know how much celebrating they'll be doing on New Year's, but hopefully they can get things going. I also wonder, now we know JD is probably the best pure scorer on this team, averaging 18, I think leading the SEC. Guys, who's the best player on this team? Can you definitively say right now, and maybe we have to wait a few more games before we say that, but I don't know if I can just necessarily dig in after, 12 games? How many games?
I think it's probably him.
You think it is JD? What do you think, Tommy?
I think you wish you could say it was Devontae Davis. Coming out of last year, that's the name you were hoping you were definitively answering that question with, and it hasn't been. So that's how I think JD's the correct answer. You were hoping at the end of March last year you were saying Devontae Davis to that question here at the end of this calendar year.
I was also hoping.
Well, the key to the team was going to be the 3 returning players. Would they play at the level that they played to end last season? Well, so far that hasn't happened.
We'll come back.
Jalen Williams, Devontae Davis, and J.D. Notae.
We'll get to our Hog update coming up in this hour. We'll also talk some more Arkansas basketball coming up. But we mentioned Busch Gardens. That's where the football team was yesterday. I want to get into this funny comment from John Ridgway, and we will get into that coming up.
Hey, we're just days, maybe hours, if you want to, away from a new year. Start the new year with Joe's Grill and Cantina. If you didn't make it there for the game yesterday afternoon, don't forget they'll have every televised Hog game on, half-price apps and taps during the game. They also have specials every day, like Wednesdays is half-price apps and taps all day, Taco Tuesdays, Dollar Taco Saturdays, Fajita Fridays. The Mexicali Monday is always one of my favorites at Joe's Grill and Cantina. So stop by for every game. Watch them all there, half-price apps and taps during the game. You can call your order in and do that at 478-9600. You can order online as well for the best Tex-Mex in town. It's Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
If a gorilla was a center, I'm picking him up and throwing him on the ground. Easy money. I'm the king of this jungle.
What y'all had in mind?
What did you say, bud?
Moving on. I think Clay didn't know he was on the air there.
Okay.
I thought that was a commercial.
No, it's okay. We'll play it again.
If a gorilla was a center, I'm picking him up and throwing him on the ground. Easy money. I'm the king of this jungle.
I don't think that's a commercial for PETA or Busch Gardens, as John Ridgway was caught on film saying that if you couldn't hear the music, they put the music too loud. But he's saying basically there's a video of him next to a gorilla in the exhibit down there in Busch Gardens. He said, I'm the king of this jungle. I could throw that gorilla to the ground. And we saw, I remember the best tackle that John Ridgway had all season, and he had a couple, was when he just picked up Hudson Card and just tomahawked him to the ground in the Texas game. I mean, realistically, guys, if John Ridgway and if you throw John Ridgway in the gorilla exhibit, are we really that scared for his life? I mean, that dude is a man. I would not be. I think the gorilla would still probably win, but I don't think it would be an easy contest for the primate.
Well, I don't think Barry Odom wants to find out this week.
No, probably not this week.
But the first thing it made me think of, Clay, was Bear Bryant, and how he got his name was wrestling a bear back, in the day. And what was that? I guess in the 40s or 30, whenever it was. I guess it'd been probably in the 30s. That's how he got his nickname, was wrestling a bear. Physically, so that's the first thing this conversation made me think of, was how Bear Bryant got his name.
From what I've heard about gorillas, they break limbs. They don't mess around. So I don't want to be in a cage with a gorilla.
Probably smart.
Even if I'm John Ridgway, even if I'm Sean Andrews, I think the gorilla wins every time.
Yeah.
And if you have something the gorilla wants, you give it to the gorilla quickly and hope that placates it.
Hope they go the other direction.
Yeah.
y'all help me on this.
Now, I would like to see Ty in the cage with the grill.
Oh man,
Ty would be nice. We'll give you a time limit, 3 hours.
3 hours. Okay.
We'll put a banana in every pocket.
How
right,
much?
Clay?
How much money do I get for doing that?
How much money? It won't matter because there will be no Ty.
Yeah.
Be ripped from limb to limb.
Yeah.
Was it? Y'all help me out on this. Was it Mike Anderson or was it Nolan Richardson that always told the bear story? If you see me find a bear,
That was Nolan.
That was Nolan.
Nolan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike told the story about Nolan.
Yeah. Mike would say that if you see Nolan, don't worry about him. Worry about the bear. I believe I heard that story for the first time, and I'm sure he started telling it when he was coaching junior high players in El Paso. But when he first got to Tulsa, he said that story, and it just took off. It was amazing, and I was just like, I'm taking notes. It's like, what did he just say, Coach? Did you say something about the bear? He started laughing, and he said it again. I'm like, that's as good. When you hear it for the first time, it's a pretty good story.
And Clay, I asked Tommy. Tommy's he'll get on roller coasters with his youngest. Is that something you would do with your daughters back in the day, or I'm going to assume you don't do it now, but I could be wrong.
In what respect? I'm lost there.
Since they were down at Busch Gardens yesterday, like KJ Jefferson, Joe Fouché, Grant Morgan, some other guys rode the Tower of Terror type of exhibit, and just them experiencing that. I didn't know if that's something that if you were down there as a media member, you'd do.
I got you. Yeah, so we've never done Tampa, but we've done for the Capital One Bowl when Arkansas played. I can't remember if it was Wisconsin or Michigan. But we went to Universal Studios, and what was fun is they gave us wristband. Now this is absolutely the wrong time of year to go to any of these theme parks. It's don't go. It's just too many people.
Yeah.
And the lines can be 2 hours, 3 hours to do one ride. But they gave us wristbands that allowed us to go to the front of the line. So you just get off one ride, and you just, if you want to ride it again, you just walk right around and go to the front of the line. They pull you in a door, and all at once you're seated in the ride. So we did that, and it was quite enjoyable. And my ladies had a big time, which is the only thing that really counts, except for the ride Twister, which took us back to Oklahoma and reminded us of
I know that
how
one.
bad that can be.
I've been on that one. Yeah. That because it's a Ty, it's a ride about the movie Twister, and there's a point where a car or truck something comes rolling across in front of you on this ride, and it's a kind of a realistic reenactment of being in a tornado.
Rolling over and over.
I've done that ride with my oldest at Universal, so yeah, that is pretty neat. So.
I never, when we went down to Jacksonville, Tommy, in 2015, when we drove down there, we thought about going to Universal. Instead, we just opted to stay in that Lion King type of hotel and go to the basketball games. But I haven't been to Universal or Disney World. I guess Worlds of Fun or Six Flags would probably be the biggest themes park that I've got to experience, but I did find it really funny with I'd be a little worried. I know that most of the time these rides are safe, but when KJ Jefferson goes at the top of that Tower of Terror type of thing, and then he comes down and he's like, "Hey, y'all, feel my heartbeat." It's like it's beating up that not 1,000 times a minute, but like way high. I'd be a little worried if I was just a little apprehensive if I was Kendall Briles.
Back to the Future ride was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Ooh.
We hadn't done Universal in a while. We went to Disney. We hadn't been to Orlando in a while, but I think my kids are at the age now they probably enjoy Universal more than Disney. Disney's got so many parks, but that's one of the benefits of getting to go to a Florida game is there's all these fun things to do. You talk about why people want to go to Florida. It's not necessarily a place you're playing in a New Year's Day bowl and all that. For the players, it's about these experiences, and there's just a few more fun, neat attractions that other parts of the country don't offer.
Was it?
Yep. There was one beach that we had planned to go to, and we realized, no, that's not the beach you go to.
Yeah.
Might be the beach that Ty goes to, but it's not the beach that I take my daughters to. But just leave it at that.
Was it? Tell me,
must have been an Orange Bowl trip.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh man. Go ahead, Tommy. I'll let you take it from here. I
was just going to say that, and I can't see the clock if you want to put that up for me, but it that's one of the fun things that you get to experience when you go to Florida. Hey, another fun thing we can experience right here at home. They don't have great trout fishing in Florida like we got right here on the White River in Arkansas. And right now, 40% off with winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. You can call, talk to Cheryl, talk to Jacob, any of their crew. They'll set your family, your team, your group, your whatever up with a great trip and a great experience. And for the next few months, it's 40% off with winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. See more online at gastons.com. Take advantage in the new year of winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
We had two people over here cooking mess out in the back barn behind the house.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through January 2nd at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Ring in the new year with a new ride and state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle. You will save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This sale does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid, but only till January 2nd at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Frank Furniture is continuing our sale through the end of December on all furniture, bedroom, mattresses, and kitchen tables. We are marking everything down another 10% off our already low sale prices for the month of December. We have appliances on sale also. For instance, GE commercial grade washer $9.99, dryer $9.99. Comes with a 5-year parts and labor warranty, 10 years on the motor, and a lifetime on the drain tub. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Hey, this is Jeff, and I've been a patient of Marcy McKinney Dentistry for almost 20 years. Marcy and her staff have become like family, and I've recommended them to everyone I know.
I'm Betty, and I've been going to Marcy for 15 years. Marcy and her staff are always responsive to our needs. Biannual checkups, fillings, crowns, partials, and my 10-year-old doesn't fight going to the dentist.
If you're looking for a great dentist, call Marcy McKinney Family Dentistry for an appointment today at 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
COVID-19 cases are still spreading across the state. Safe, effective, and free COVID vaccines are now readily available for all Arkansans ages 5 and up. Booster shots are also available for fully vaccinated people 18 and above. The vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe COVID. That means helping keep you from being hospitalized or even dying. Get vaccinated to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab in Fort Smith is hiring dietary aides, CNAs, and LPNs all shifts. Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab is a newly remodeled 5-star rehab and long-term facility. Full-time positions qualify for benefits such as medical, dental, 401k, and vacation. Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab wants you to become a Chapel Champ team member today. Please apply at Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab, 4623 Rogers Avenue, or fax resume to 478-1014. That's 478-1014.
Reliable high-speed internet is available to rural Johnson County. Arkansas Valley Electric members in Oark, Ozone, Lake Ludwig, Mount Vernon, Harmony, and other areas north and west of Clarksville can sign up now for fiber internet, TV, and phone service starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Nobody loves the holidays more than Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, and they want you to love the holidays too with Holiday Relief. $500 cash back in your pocket on any vehicle purchased. And with interest rates as low as 0% and no payments for 90 days, you will be merry and bright as well. It's Holiday Relief. $500 cash back in your pocket on every vehicle purchased. Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Arkansas did get a commitment out of the class of 2023, bringing that number up to 5. Dallas Young out of, I think, Gardendale, Alabama, 6'1", 180, 4-star cornerback. Had offers to Florida State, Georgia, Florida, what was it, on LSU, both Mississippi schools and others. Guys, good to see another recruit in the class of 2023 starting to shore up a little bit, not just some talented in-state guys, but out of state as well, and we'll open that up more to Richard when he joins us to kick off hour number 3. Tommy.
Boy, you got to get ahead now, because with that early signing period, if you don't do the heavy lifting, now and really be in the upper teens, somewhere around 20, maybe at 20 by start of the football season, you may not get what you need for that current class. So the December early signing period has changed the time frame and the pressure to start earlier on the recruiting, and we've seen Arkansas kind of get to those numbers the last few years.
Tyson Morris was in Tampa yesterday. On top of that, he did practice, so good to see the former Fayetteville High School wide receiver now back with the team. Also want to share this funny clip. We know that Sam Pittman's talked about being a Razorback fan, a kid from Grove, Oklahoma, went to a Lou Holtz camp, didn't get an opportunity to play, and apparently James Franklin, a Philadelphia kid, had a similar experience.
Very surreal, very honoring. I'm honored that I'm the head coach at Arkansas, but I feel it all the time. I was a fan. I went to camp. Went to football camp there, and Lou Holtz was a coach. And
did you get rejected too?
Well,
I got rejected.
I'm glad you said the two, because that kind of makes me feel.
Yeah, I got rejected. I went to Penn State's camp.
I got recruited none, so I don't know if it ever got to the rejection part.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud listening to that, and so that kind of seems like similar paths for not 100% on the coaching era, but kind of their start in the college ranks playing days seems to be some similar circumstances, guys.
Yeah, and kind of the underdog role, and we know Sam Pittman's story. I didn't know that about James Franklin, but all these guys aspired to get there, and now they're getting there, in a coaching role a lot more so than they ever did in their playing days. And you look at it, generally the guys that play at the highest level never turn out to be the great ones in coaching. Generally.
Arkansas, as we know, lost to Mississippi State last night, 81-68. J.D. Notae, Chance Moore couldn't play because of an illness. Kamani Johnson has been indefinitely suspended. Here was Eric Musselman's really opening statement about not having J.D. and just how this team played last night.
Right out of the Christmas break, we found out then and waited another day to be sure. Yeah, he's plus 144 for the season. I think he was the leading scorer in the league. But we got on the plane, to compete and to win the game. We were down bodies, but we're not excuse makers, and we're not gonna not go play a game because of if we have enough bodies to go play, I'm going to play. That's how I was raised.
I think Arkansas fans appreciate that mindset, but I think especially in the second half, Clay, J.D. Notae's presence was missed.
Yeah, he's their best player. And that we just did a segment where we decided collectively, he's their best player. And he's, he gives them the spark. He's a guy that can go get a bucket when things are breaking down. Has unlimited range. He's played in the league on the road. Some of the other guys that have not played in this league don't know that environment. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd like to have him. So it's you're going to get him back. How soon, I'm not sure. Does he miss another game? That's not been determined by the. It seems like they're going to change the the 7-day to a 5-day window here. They just did that in in the NFL, right?
Well, the CDC said yesterday to change the 10 to the 5, so I think everybody's falling in line with that.
That's the way it's going to be headed, right?
Right. I think when the CDC said it, I think a lot of people went right with that.
The NFL and the SEC and others are just kind of falling in line, it seems like. So, yeah, hopefully that's the case. That's going to do it for your Hog Update, and it is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Back to the phone lines. Going to welcome in Charlie in Camden. Charlie, you've got a comment on this Arkansas basketball team this morning. Go right ahead, man. Charlie, go ahead, man. All right. I guess he's not wanting to. Charlie, you hear us?
I think he's left the building.
Okay. Probably has a bad connection or something. But, yeah, this basketball team, I think two things can be true about what we saw last night. One, you can be disappointed with that performance. I think that's okay. But two, last night's performance doesn't necessarily have to be indicative of what's going to happen the rest of the season. I think that there's a good chance, based on what I've seen to this point, that this team is probably not going to end up in the Elite Eight. That being said, I don't think this team is going to miss the NCAA tournament based on what I've seen, because I would be very surprised, as long as Eric Musselman's the head coach at Arkansas, the way he recruits and the way he flips guys in the portal, there's always going to be rough patches at the start of the season. And that's okay, because in my mind, what's more important is how you conclude the season. Guys, let's try Charlie once again. Charlie, can you hear us this time, man?
Can you guys hear me?
Try one more time. Nope. All right. Sorry, buddy. Just have bad connection down there in South Arkansas. What is there anything else that you guys think, Clay? I know you're only with us for about
I think that you kind of look around the league and see what happens. There's going to be these kind of results where teams are missing players. Tennessee lost last night and did not have John Fulkerson or Justin Fulkerson. You're going to have games where you're impacted by COVID, and we're not going to know for a while how all this is going to shake out. And you just have to keep grinding, and there'll be a stretch where the teams you're chasing, they may hit a bad stretch where they lose players for 2 games, and it really impacts you. Arkansas, they're going to get J.D. back. You probably won't lose him again for the rest of the way. So, maybe you get your tough break right off the stretch, and you fight back and you're climbing uphill. But I think it's going to be. This is not a year where there's 10 or 12 teams in the SEC that are capable of going on serious runs. There's 2, 3, 4, and Arkansas is one of those teams. And I think that you're going to lose some road games. You just got to come home and take care of business in Bud Walton Arena, and I think they will.
Got to be dominant at home. That's where this team is always, this program has always buttered its bread by winning home games. And you're not going to win them all, but if you can limit that to 1 or 2 losses at home, you hopefully steal 3 to 4 on the road somewhere. And Ty, you brought up earlier the road environments, and you didn't have to face one yesterday, but the tougher environments are ahead. I sure hope, and I said I hope you're right. And what I mean by that is, with the way COVID has gone and these new variants, you hope there isn't a move or a new line of thinking that we're going to go back to limiting the crowds and these basketball arenas being indoors, that's coming. There's nothing been said about that, but we see the trend and the way things are going, and we haven't even hit the post-Christmas holiday surge that I think a lot of people and the experts believe is coming. The last thing you want is a half-full or a limited Bud Walton Arena, and if that happens at Bud Walton, it's obviously going to happen around the league and maybe around the country. So hopefully you have that full home court edge at Bud Walton Arena, and that none of that's derailed by what's going on with COVID right now.
I really liked what I saw from Auburn last night. Walker Kessler is the former 5-star North Carolina Tar Heel that's transferred in, and he is what you want Connor Vanover to be, but he's just not. At 7'1", can block, can shoot, can do it all. And then they've got a one-and-done, probably a lottery pick in Jabari Smith, probably a top 5 pick in Jabari Smith. And that Wendell Green kid's kind of a Chris Likes type, small, a little stockier it looks like, and he can play as well. So we'll have have to wait and see what the rest of the SEC play looks like down the stretch, Tommy.
Yeah, there's one more game this week. Kentucky plays High Point in a non-conference game, and then Arkansas's next game is against Vanderbilt next Tuesday. So we'll kind of see how they rebound at home taking on Vanderbilt. So, all right, Clay, safe travels. I know you're heading out. We're going to talk to you tomorrow as you are hitting the road for Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it into southeast Alabama, somewhere around Troy or Dothan today. So we'll see how that works. All
right, we'll talk to you tomorrow from the road, on the road to Tampa. So
okay, you
safe
keep
travels.
Ty under control. Okay,
I've given up. I've given up.
I'm turning that over to you and Drew.
Oh.
Every once in a while, you have to say, let's back up a minute.
Temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Start 2022 with a splash from Burton Pools and Spas. Save up to $5,000 on a fiberglass in-ground pool. This is a limited time offer from Burton Pools and Spas. Only the first 15 customers will save $5,000 off a new in-ground fiberglass pool. Invest in your family and the backyard of your dreams at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo! Hey, Siri!
Hey, Hog fans, have you tried the new Snout Snacks from Rub It Snout? Smoked cashews, pork rinds, seasoned with Rub It Snout signature all grub rubs. Go to rubbitsnout.com to place your order. Rub It Snout ships anywhere in the U.S. and offers free local delivery. Please like and share our pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rub It Snout.
Spread the rub.
Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. And with Razorback basketball season heating up, that means it's time to get your heating system tuned up for winter. Get your wintertime tune-up now for only $59 from Ashley Air, but only until January 1st. Now that's a slam dunk. $59 to make sure your heating system is ready for winter's full court press. Schedule your wintertime tune-up today at AshleyAir.com. That's AshleyAir.com.
Ready for something sweet, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I just got a big batch of cars. Now I'm on a mission to spread holiday cheer. So forget the cookies, because during my Christmas car exchange, you could save a lot of dough on a Rath road-ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and save up to $4,709 based on the car you choose. That's right, this month you could trade and save. Keeping the car you have, keep it running this winter with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So this December, fatten your wallet, not your waistline, only during my Christmas car exchange. But hurry, this deal's done after the first 61 people start driving better. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. And with Razorback basketball season heating up, that means it's time to get your heating system tuned up for winter. Get your wintertime tune-up now for only $59 from Ashley Air, but only until January 1st. Now that's a slam dunk. $59 to make sure your heating system is ready for winter's full court press. Schedule your wintertime tune-up today at AshleyAir.com. That's AshleyAir.com.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Nobody loves the holidays more than Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, and they want you to love the holidays too with Holiday Relief. $500 cash back in your pocket on any vehicle purchased. And with interest rates as low as 0% and no payments for 90 days, you will be merry and bright as well. It's Holiday Relief. $500 cash back in your pocket on every vehicle purchased. Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s. Tonight, an increase in the cloud cover, upper 40s to low 50s. Friday, we'll see an increasing chance of showers and storms, highs near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
It's over in Starkville, and the Razorbacks have dropped their conference opener to Mississippi State, 81-68. Our final score. The Hogs come up short in the hump in the conference opener for both teams.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It's hour number 3 of the Morning Rush on a Recruiting Thursday. Richard Davenport is going to be joining us shortly to talk exactly that. We were talking about Dallas Young committing. We'll get his thoughts on Dallas and more. I also want to get into the comments made by both James Franklin and Sam Pittman yesterday when asked about what movie actor they will want to be played by, which I thought both answers were entertaining. Were both the Penn State head coach and the Arkansas head coach, and we'll have some fun with that this segment later on.
All right, we're brought to you by our friends at Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola. They are looking for ready-mix drivers right now in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, and also in Harrison. So if you're listening in any of those places this morning and you're tired of the truck driving job or the job you got now using your CDL license, you'd like a new opportunity, they've got it for you with APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. You can be home at night, work for a great company that has a nice, big, fat sign-on bonus, profit sharing, health benefits that are second to none. It's a big company that offers a lot to its employees, plus great pay on top of everything else. Apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. We're looking for CDL licensed drivers at APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They're equal opportunity employers.
Richard, let's start with Dallas Young. Saw this 4-star by your buddy Tom Lemming, also an On3. That's the one we'll go with because I think he's a 3-star on 24/7 in Rivals. What is Sam Carter, Barry Odom, and the Razorbacks getting in Dallas Young?
Well, he's a bigger corner. He's about 6'1", 185. He could possibly play safety too. At least he thinks he can, and with his size and his speed, and I could see that he possibly could do that if maybe the line at the cornerback position is a little long. They may take a look at him at safety, but I tend to think he'll be sticking at corner. But just looking at his film, he definitely can mirror the high school receivers. You see him. There's no separation with those guys. How does that translate to the SEC? I think Coach Carter and Coach Odom and Coach Pittman and all of them think that it translates well. And you had a good offer list. You had Georgia, Penn State, several others that major Power 5 programs. So good get very early right now, but they got 5 commitments in the 23 class, and I think you're going to see some more action probably in a few more weeks as far as the 23 class.
Richard, I think Arkansas's had success going into Missouri, going into Texas and Louisiana, but I think it's pretty seldom that they go in to get at Alabama and get a 3 or 4 star, maybe somewhere that Alabama or Auburn both want to. Is that what you say is one of the more difficult states in the SEC landscape for the Razorbacks to recruit?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Louisiana, really. I mean, Auburn and Alabama won't offer all the in-state guys, and even if they do, just because it's an offer doesn't mean that that's a committable offer. So, Arkansas's had success in Alabama in the past. Trey Flowers obviously comes to mind. Quentin Caver, the linebacker that played for Coach Nutt, obviously played in the NFL. Orlando Waters, there's several others. So Arkansas's had success in the past in Alabama. They don't make do a lot of recruiting in Alabama. They recruit the state, but not as heavily as say a Louisiana or a Texas or Oklahoma or something like that. But they're good enough to get 1 or 2 guys out of there once in a while.
Richard, we were talking earlier kind of about the benchmarks and how the early signing period has changed, where you got to be at what points in the calendar. I think it's 5 now that are committed to 23's class. What in your mind, or what are you seeing as kind of the benchmarks of where you got to be? Because in the past where you could end the season and still go get 8 or 10, now the early signing period, if you're not in the 20s, it seems like by the end of the season, or maybe even the start of the season, you're behind. What do you work on these benchmarks now with the early signing period?
No, I think you're right on the beginning of the season. If you don't have the vast majority of your class completed, you may be in a tough situation. Now, the only exception is if, say, you're waiting on some high-profile guys, and you're willing to wait till the end of the season, because a lot of times those guys will do that. But if you hope to have at least 2/3 of your class completed by the start of the season, and Arkansas in the past few years have been able to do that, and obviously been able to hang on to those guys and add a few here or there during the season or afterwards. But that now, because offers are going out so much quicker. You're seeing guys even in the 9th and even the 8th and 9th grade getting offers. You're getting guys on campus earlier, so the process is accelerated, and also, like you said, the early signing period has kind of helped that accelerate the recruiting process even more so, because, for instance, Arkansas is going to be hosting several underclassmen January the 15th, 22nd, and 29th.
And I would guess that Kentucky game is going to be a big recruiting weekend, as we know it will be. These Saturday basketball games is a great way to showcase off the environment on campus. So what's the next big benchmark? Is it the start of spring practice, the conclusion? Where should Arkansas be, say by the end of spring practice?
Spring practice, I could see them having, that's a rough call, but I'd say anywhere from 10 to 15, probably around 10 to 12 by spring or the end of spring practice, and then it accelerate in during the summer in June when you start hosting kids, and also that they'll be hosting kids in the spring too, but they'll also host kids in June also, and then that's when you get the next batch of commitments.
Richard Davenport talking a little recruiting. RD, Sam Pittman made some comments yesterday. It's going to take a lot of guys to replace Traylon Burks, and I don't think anyone was mystified or anything when he said that. But I wonder, from what you've seen from Sam Mbake, Isaiah Centena, and Quincy McAdoo, which wide receiver in this class do you think has the highest ceiling to start out as a freshman and then just their career overall at Arkansas?
You know, Isaiah, you go with him naturally just because he's got that speed. Quincy McAdoo, he's got a little bit more size. He's about 6'1", 6'2", very elusive and very good speed too. And then you got Sam, who's a legitimate 6'2", 6'3", looks like a tight end if you see him from a physical standpoint. I think all of them have their strong suits. Quincy's probably the most elusive of the three, in my opinion. And then with Sam, more physical. And then Isaiah, obviously, with speed. It just depends on which guy adjusts to the SEC game, the physicality, and all that. But you got two of the. Well, no, Sam will be coming in the spring, so Quincy will be the only one going through spring practice.
When the class of 2023, we mentioned kind of Dallas Young and just who they've gotten. I know people are really excited about Shamar Easter, the 4-star tight end out of Ashdown. You've got 5 guys currently committed. How's this class shaping up, not just in-state, but out-of-state with the connections that Sam Pittman and his staff are starting to establish with that class?
So, setting up really good because, like I said, they've been able to get some guys committed to come visit them in January, and several of those guys have already visited several other times. So, you know, whenever you get a guy visiting 2 or 3 different times, the chances of you getting that kid is obviously much better, and that just allows them to see the campus more, and obviously get to know the coaches. You know, as far as the relationships there. And it just, gives them more of a comfort factor. And also sometimes, say, one parent's only able to visit one time, but the second time the other parent's able to visit. And a lot of times you get multiple parents on campus, and that also helps your odds too, because they feel comfortable with the coaching staff and also the environment of the program.
Richard, I wanted to ask you about the King Cotton Classic being back in Pine Bluff. This was a big-time national tournament back in the day. We were talking a day or two ago about the time Jason Kidd and Corliss Williamson squared off. What does this do to showcase Arkansas's high school basketball? What kind of a recruiting event is there? We've seen pictures of coaches. Just some of your general takeaways from the King Cotton, and maybe tell us about some of the other bigger, high-profile events that go on in this state that people may not know about.
Yeah, well, with King Cotton, I think like what they were able to showcase the last 3 days, several of the high-profile prospects. That's also going to help them going forward, and when they start recruiting other, programs for future events, they're going to say, "Hey, look, Khalil Ware played in this tournament. Nick Smith, Darian Ford, this guy." So that's a big thing there, and it also obviously promotes the game of basketball in the state, which already has a great following, and you see the quality of basketball just keep on improving. But I think it just the future is very bright, and I think the people that they have running it, from what I understand, is it's a high caliber event. And as far as some of the other events, I'm not going to lie to you. I've taken a few days off. I know several other events have been going on, but I haven't been paying much attention to them.
Yeah, I know there's one coming up in Northwest Arkansas in early January, the Hoop Hall Classic, that's going to bring some national teams in. I don't know if you're familiar yet with that, but I think that's another great showcase, and maybe the last final big showcase event in our state that's coming up January 6th, 7th, and 8th at Bentonville West. Yeah, no doubt. And there's been you get the interest level that you have right now in the game of basketball with Coach Muss, and
the program, and then obviously some of the high caliber athletes that have been coming out of the state. People are interested in seeing good basketball, and when you're able to bring a product to your community, it's a good event for everybody involved.
Richard, before we let you go, I saw you put this on the Whole Hog Sports message boards. The bumper pool horse at Oaklawn. Want to share something about that? I was blown away when I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be 2 bumper pools performing on Saturday, one in Tampa and one at Oaklawn in the second race. And Jeff Poole, Bumper's dad, knows the owner, and I don't know the full story. He just shared with me that about Bumper running on Saturday at Oaklawn. But it's a neat thing. I think a lot of people remember Hunter Henry had a horse named after him too. So we'll see how that. And I think he did pretty good.
Yeah. And there's a horse named McFadden
been some other racetracks. Yeah. So I did look at some of the workouts of Bumper Pool. As far as the horse, and looks okay. Nothing to write home about. It'd be interesting to see how he runs on Saturday. But I think a lot of Arkansas fans would be putting money on him, and I know his dad is.
He's a gamer. He's a gamer. He'll show up when the lights won't be on, but you know what I mean. So he's a gamer.
Well, there's been horses that I've looked at the form and said, "Oh my God, look at these workouts," and then it didn't translate too well as far as the race. So we'll see. Hoping for good things, because I'll be betting it just for the heck of it too.
That's awesome. Richard, appreciate your time as always, man. Enjoy this game this weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about it, and hopefully Arkansas will get some good recruiting news following in next week.
Sounds good, buddy. We'll see you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport with us here, our final visit of 2021 with Richard here on a Recruiting Thursday. We're brought to you by Wave Rural Connect and Arkansas Valley Electric. New zones have opened, including one just outside of Clarksville, so areas south of Clarksville and north and west of Clarksville, like Ozone, Oark, Lake Ludwig, Harmony, Mountain Vernon. If you're listening this morning and you've suffered with terrible internet long enough, hey, there's now a fiber option being brought to the door. So call 1-833-4WAVE-RC, and you can get fast fiber internet in your rural home now with Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. That's 833-4WAVE-RC, or you can sign up online for internet starting as low as $49.95 a month, plus TV and phone packages. You can sign up today at waveruralconnect.com. That's waveruralconnect.com. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities they serve.
I teased it at the open of this segment. Sam Pittman, James Franklin were asked yesterday, hey, what movie actor would you want to be played by?
Yeah, I think it's either going to be The Rock or Denzel Washington, obviously.
Okay, obviously.
One of those two.
I like that answer.
But I'm glad you kind of gave me reference, because I didn't know what you were talking about when you first started talking. But yeah, probably The Rock. Similar body type, charisma, similar.
Well, I'm thinking Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's older, more mature, got a lot of gray like I do. So I don't know. I think he's made a lot of money. That's who I'd like to represent me.
Now, Tommy, since we've done this show together and since Sam Pittman got hired, I've said one person that I think would be great. Now, I don't think he's with us. Maybe he is still alive. George Wendt, who played Norm in Cheers, would be my pick for Sam Pittman, but I guess George Wendt's still alive, but I think that Jack Nicholson, that's not a bad one either, man.
No, he fiery and can get going. Of course, I think the greatest actor of a coach or portraying a coach might be Billy Bob Thornton, who's got Arkansas connections, but not really doesn't really look a lot like Sam Pittman, but they can do a lot with dress and makeup and all these things these days. But he comes to mind anytime you're talking about a coach. But I think you're right. Norm would be a good one right there.
I think Billy Bob Thornton. I got a chance to walk by him. We were in the Byron Nelson down there in Fort Worth, or Texas, or whatever it is, and this guy with a crowd of people walked by me, and I looked. I It's like, that's Billy Bob Thornton, and I know lives down there in Texas now, but when you think about his acting career, and specifically from a football coaching perspective, Friday Night Lights, I think, stands out. He would be I think he's got the coaching, acting DNA in him, so that would be a good one. You're welcome to text your opinion about this in 877-377-6963. Jack Nicholson over the years has just played so many different type of roles, and has he ever been in a? You'd have to help me out with this because you're older. Has he ever been in a football coach role, Tommy?
Not that I know of. Not one that comes to mind. But of course, A Few Good Men. I mean, he's been in so many hit movies, but Colonel Jessup in A Few Good Men's the first thing I think of when I think about Jack Nicholson. So that to me was the quintessential character that he played, but there's been many, many more, of course.
Okay.
So
Phil texted in. He just texted me. He said, "Brian, is it Dennehy or Denny? Is how you say his name?"
Brian Dennehy.
Dennehy. So he's been Silverado.
That'd be good. That Phil's on the money there. I think that's a good one.
Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. What is he most?
Of course, Coach might say Brad Pitt might be the more even though younger, Brad might portray him better. So.
I've seen this guy, and I can't think of what movies this guy has been in that I've seen. I know I've seen him, and I'm just looking at.
Didn't Brian Dennehy play Bob Knight in that movie that ESPN put together? That wasn't like a hit movie, but they put a recreation of the perfect season they had with Indiana. I believe he played Bob Knight in that movie. So,
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's probably been. I think it was right at the end of Knight's coaching career or right close to it. Now, it's probably been 12 years ago, something like that. So
that's it. He's the dad in Tommy Boy that passes away. I could not think of what movie is. I know I've seen that movie.
You had to go through all the all the award-winning hit movies, and Tommy Boy was the one. You had to work your way through the list.
That won an Oscar, didn't it? Spade and
Emmy,
Blade Farley,
Tony, probably all of them. Yeah. So.
I had never. I think Phil assigned me that for halftime homework. I remember. I don't think I'd seen Tommy Boy until that point, and there were so many phrases that I heard people used over the years, but I didn't know the origin of them until I actually watched that movie. Phil helped me learn. He helped me get more culturally sound, having me watch all these different movies and TV shows. Phil had me watch I think I ended up watching 10, 15 episodes of Cheers. He said, just watch one of them, and I ended up watching, but it was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but yeah, that would
Cheers is great.
I think Dennehy would be a pretty good one. I'm trying to think if there's another guy that I'm just kind of blanking on. We got a text at 870 says Gene Hackman. Think Gene Hackman could play coach?
He might be a little older now. Gene's got to be in his 80s. Got to be. I'm gonna Google that.
No, when the latest movie he's been in.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. So, but Gene Hackman, one of my favorite all-time actors.
He's great. You got Hoosiers. You've got the movie with him and Will Smith.
I'm sorry, he's not in his 80s. He's in his 90s. Pardon me.
Goodness gracious. What is the movie with him and Will Smith, early 2000s, Enemy of the State? And he's been
yes, that was a great one.
He's in The Firm with Tom Cruise. Has a Little Rock reference in that. Love that. Yeah, he's a great actor, no question.
Yeah, 91. I knew he was up there in the years, but I didn't realize it was 91. So wow. So hey, we're brought to you by the Fence Man. If you're thinking about a new fencing project coming up here in the new year, or you need some fencing repairs, or you own a business or manage a business that needs new commercial fencing, they do all kinds of fencing with the Fence Man. And they can come out and give you a quick, no-obligations quote. They have 18-month, same-as-cash financing available with a Fence Man. They do powered automatic gates, regular gates, whatever you're thinking of, whatever your wife's seen on Pinterest, whatever you're needing to make that fencing project look great, give you more curb appeal and more security. The Fence Man can build that for you. 782-3936.
Alexa,
that's
play
782-3936.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Barry Odom. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers, in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt. And we're with the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Right next to Baum-Walker Stadium. Hey, Matt, can you believe it? This has to be one of the greatest times in history to be a Razorback fan.
Dad, I think you're right. The hog train is really rolling strong.
Here, when it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-39.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
Available to rural Johnson County. Arkansas Valley Electric members in Oark, Ozone, Lake Ludwig, Mount Vernon, Harmony, and other areas north and west of Clarksville can sign up now for fiber internet, TV, and phone service starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Ready for something sweet, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I just got a big batch of cars. Now I'm on a mission to spread holiday cheer. So forget the cookies, because during my Christmas car exchange, you could save a lot of dough on a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and save up to $4,709 based on the car you choose. That's right, this month you could trade and save. Keeping the car you have, keep it running this winter with a free winter ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. So this December, fatten your wallet, not your waistline, only during my Christmas car exchange. But hurry, this deal's done after the first 61 people start driving better. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Here's a big hole. And Andre is at midfield at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Mudray Hill.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Arkansas is now 7-23 in Starkville. Not a place that the Razorbacks have found much success playing basketball there. Hopefully that will be not the sign of what's to come this season. And again, we can't make too much out of one SEC road game, but there is a lot to improve on. There's no question about it, and we'll discuss coming up after this.
Hey, are you tired of constant computer issues at work? If your laptop's a problem, if the networking's an issue, maybe you can't log in remotely and look at the computer screens and operate on your network when you're away from the office. You need to fix all of that with a call to Daryl and the crew at Hashtag Technologies. They can help you with that. 479-802-4978. Hashtag will take care of malware, software issues. They'll work on the routers, the VPNs, the hard cabling, all of those things that will make your office work more smoothly. 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headaches.
We have to remember J.D. Note did not play last night. He's averaging about 18 points a game this season, the number one scorer in the SEC, if I remember that correctly. And with him and Chance Moore both having the illness, Kamani Johnson being indefinitely suspended, don't know his status for the upcoming games or J.D.'s status for the game against Vanderbilt. That's your best scorer, and I think we came to an agreement last hour that he might be your best player. So, that being said, you still put up a pretty solid first half where you're down by 2. I thought there was a mischarge call where it looked like Jalen Williams got barreled into, and then they ended up scoring either a dunk or a layup on that possession. And then second half, just not a lot of positive things. But there is, Tommy, this is not one of these segments where we're just going to be all hunky-dory and sunshine and rainbows. This team's got some work to do.
What'd you say that record was? 7-23 down there?
Mm-hmm.
So why should you expect much different? I mean, as far as the outcome, the concern is you didn't play well on the defensive end. You still can't make threes on a consistent basis. But based on just history, we shouldn't be surprised how difficult it is. Now, I was mentioning earlier the series record. It's like the 60th meeting. It's probably now like 34-32. I think it was 34-31 going in. So there's only 2 games separation. So what's that tell you about Arkansas's record against Mississippi State at Bud Walton? It's got to be very similar to what they're facing in Starkville. So that's the nature of this. The key is you can't lose 2 in a row. You got to beat Vanderbilt at home, or I think it is time to start hitting the panic button if it doesn't go well against Vanderbilt.
Right now, this is a fringe / not an NCAA tournament team. They've lost 3 of 4. They don't look at, and I'm talking about where it stands these last couple games they could play. But we saw that it flipped very quickly last year. How a lot of you, us included, I remember Tommy and I sit down and had this conversation a little more, probably a couple weeks into conference play, and especially after the LSU and Alabama. We just didn't know. We could definitively come out and say this team's not making the NCAA tournament. This is a lost year. But we just said the chance of this, there's a chance that they don't. And I don't know if it's worse. I don't know if it's better. I would say it's probably a little worse than where it was in the point last season. And I don't know who needs to step up and just kind of say, I know that Devontae Davis and I don't know if it was Stanley Mude or maybe it's Jalen Williams, but those guys kind of led that players-only meeting before the Elon game. And I don't know what it's going to take to get this team to kind of get things going. Maybe it's JD coming back, but something has to happen in order to see a script flipped so they don't keep playing like they have in 3 of these last 4 games.
So if you were describing this at the end of February or sometime in March, based on what we're seeing now, you'd call Arkansas a bubble team. And I think that's kind of where they're at today. It's too early to start putting those descriptors on anyone, but that's kind of what you are right now is a bubble team. So
nowhere near living up to that third seed or third preseason expectation that the SEC media voted on. It's not to say you can't get there, but, man, when you look at Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky, Alabama, LSU, Mississippi State just beat you. I mean, that is at least 6 teams that are better than you, and one's already beaten you head-to-head.
Yeah,
that's a long way uphill, Tommy.
Got to quit turning the ball over. That's one thing. Robert just texted in from Fort Smith and said too many turnovers. Absolutely, led to too many points with the opponents. So I mean, this team can get there, but I think we need a real, and not that no one's been promoting this, but I think it's the general expectation. You're back to the Sweet 16 at least the second weekend. Maybe you get to the Elite 8. Right now, this team's playing nowhere near that level. And right now you appear to be, based on what's going on around you in the league, a middle-of-the-pack SEC team, which by definition I think, Ty, makes you a bubble team.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of work to get done to get back to the expectation, the preseason expectation of being a top 3 team in this league. They're nowhere near that at current time.
They have to figure out a way with being aggressive, but aggressively passing, aggressively attacking. You got to pick your spots. You just can't one pass get to the rim. Like, you've got to move the ball a couple times, and I think it seemed at points this season, like, man, this team looks like it's really starting to find its rhythm and chemistry, and then next possession, they just take one drive and go to the rim and throw up a terrible shot. They have taken some abysmal shots this season where I've watched Eric Musselman on the sidelines, and he looks like he wants to rip his hair out. And I know that it's difficult sometimes with the defense, especially in this conference, but they've got to delineate and really figure out, hey, this is a good shot, this is a bad shot. We need to work it around, use the shot clock a little bit, and they have yet to really do that consistently since the start of this season.
Arkansas with 17 turnovers last night. They are minus 13 in points off turnovers. They lose 81-68. That's by 13 last night. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive in South Fort Smith. So if you're in the River Valley looking for a new dentist and looking for a new place for your kids and your family to get their dental care done next year, Dr. Brogan and Dr. Sparkman, they're excellent at making it comfortable each and every time for your family, whether it's braces, implants, cosmetics. I got one with braces coming up. I'm telling you right now that's going to be a lot of fun. So braces, whatever you need done, they can do it at Riley Farm Dental. Again, 5901 Riley Park Drive. Make your appointment at 226-3500. That's 226-3500, or see more at RileyFarmDental.com.
When we come back, your SEC update is next. Kirby Smart doesn't seem to think that there's a quarterback dispute down there in Athens getting ready for their game. Is there, though? We'll answer next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I absolutely love your show. I can't listen to anything else on the drive to work in the morning other than the morning rush.
Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. And with Razorback basketball season heating up, that means it's time to get your heating system tuned up for winter. Get your wintertime tune-up now for only $59 from Ashley Air, but only until January 1st. Now that's a slam dunk. $59 to make sure your heating system is ready for winter's full court press. Schedule your wintertime tune-up today at AshleyAir.com. That's AshleyAir.com.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using a Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Ready for something sweet, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I just got a big batch of cars. Now I'm on a mission to spread holiday cheer. So forget the cookies, because during my Christmas car exchange, you could save a lot of dough on a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and save up to $4,709 based on the car you choose. That's right, this month you could trade and save. Keeping the car you have, keep it running this winter with a free winter ready inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. So this December, fatten your wallet, not your waistline, only during my Christmas car exchange. But hurry, this deal's done after the first 61 people start driving better. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Did you know that sometimes roof damage goes unnoticed? Have you seen a few houses in your neighborhood get new roofs in the past couple of years? It could be that your roof has damage. Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Get $500 cash back in your pocket to start the new year. From Harry Robinson Saddles Hall Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40. Come by and see Troy. $500 cash back in your pocket. It's holiday relief.
Yes, we've still got it going on, Tommy. It's an exciting thing that we're giving back to the customers. It doesn't matter what you buy. If you buy a $2,000 car, you can still get your $500 back in holiday relief. So come down here and see us. See what we have in inventory. It's a great thing that we've got going on. It doesn't matter what you're purchasing. We've got $500 back in holiday relief, and it ends this weekend, so get down here.
The time is running out, and you got a great selection, pre-owns, brand new ones, many to choose from on the lot.
Yes, we definitely do. We got tons out there. We got cars, vans, trucks, SUVs. We've got the Super Duties, the diesels. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. Come down here, give us the opportunity to earn your business and take advantage of this holiday relief that we have going on.
The sale ends this weekend at Harry Robinson Saddlesall Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Saddlesall.
ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to ashley.air.com to request service today.
Got the Georgia Georgia quarterback news coming your way. Also want to get into some games we watched last night, but also we've talked about Keyshawn Butte, or Boot, however you say his name, the outstanding LSU wide receiver. There were rumors circulating around him maybe leaving Baton Rouge. I know Eli Ricks headed from Baton Rouge to Tuscaloosa. Well, he put out yesterday saying, ignore the rumors. He is locked in right now to Brian Kelly's Tigers. Tommy, you've got that map in front of you of, according to data that's been picked up from Twitter, on what states want what team to win the college football playoff. According to this map, Arkansas wants Alabama to win the college football playoff. Do you get a sense that Arkansas fans want the Crimson Tide to win another national championship?
Well, I think it's part of the root for the SEC thing. When I look at Georgia's footprint, it's all Alabama and mainly Michigan nationally. Georgia has just the state of Georgia and South Carolina and it looks like Montana and Colorado. No, that's Utah. Utah. I mean, this thing is dominated by Bama and Michigan. I'd say Michigan has more states right now and probably more the geographical part of the country than Bama. But why does Arkansas root for them? I think it's part of rooting for the league and then rooting for your division inside of that.
Does Arkansas get money?
And we want to be right, and we feel like, Alabama's probably the odds-on favorite. They're the number one seed. They got Nick Saban go through the list of reasons why Bama may win this thing. You want to be right, too, and Bama's always a good one to pick.
Does Arkansas get money if Alabama wins the national championship? Does that get divvied up amongst the SEC?
All the bowl money, all that money goes into the league pot and then divided up. So, yeah.
Okay,
I don't know that it's more. I don't think it's more if you win, is it? I think it's just
you're
getting
the
there.
money guy. I don't know. That's
what you want is you want Georgia and Bama to be in that national championship game against each other, and then that's more money to the league pot to divide up 14 ways. And I'm sure Texas will want their cut, even though they're not in the league yet. I'm sure Texas will demand that they get a share of it, and 0.5% more than everybody else. So
maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I just don't want to see a Georgia-Alabama national championship. I want to see Michigan and Alabama. I want to see the Big Ten versus the SEC. I want to see Harbaugh, Saban. We saw Georgia-Alabama.
Well, you're going to see that in the semifinal. You got Georgia-Michigan, so
Yeah, but I'm not enticed by the idea of another Georgia-Alabama rematch, and even without John Mechie, I think Alabama could blow that game open like they did in the second half of that game. And not to say they couldn't do the same against Michigan. I think that's more nationally appealing. I know we're in SEC country here in Arkansas, but I just like the idea of a Michigan-Alabama national championship more than I do a Georgia-Alabama rematch in a game that we saw a month ago.
Well, clearly looking at this map, we were looking at about each state's support of which team in the college football playoff. The country agrees with you. They want Michigan, and then I would say Alabama's number 2. So I think you're in line with what the country wants, and that's something different than in the championship game.
I know Georgia has been dealing with a lot of questions about their quarterback room. Well, Kirby Smart was pretty open and honest. It's Stetson Bennett as their starting quarterback.
That's the part that's so sad about this, is that you guys want to ask us as coaches questions. I want to answer them as honest as possible. But the hardest thing is every time you ask a question, you drive the comparison home. And really, at the end of the day, they're both different quarterbacks, and they're both good in their own right. And I think we've got 4 quarterbacks capable of winning big here at University of Georgia, and Stetson's our quarterback right now.
JT Daniels is coming off of COVID, a COVID positive test. I don't know if he actually had it or not, but this whole thing, man, if you're doing sports radio in Atlanta or Athens or whatever, I bet there's been thousands of texts and calls and questions about going back and forth. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think that Stetson Bennett can win them a national championship. And you say, well, maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe it's the defense and maybe it's other stuff. And I think in years past, you could maybe say that. But because of the offenses and they're likely not just going to have to go to through a really tough defense and go through Aiden Hutchinson at Michigan, but you got to score points against Bennett. That was my whole argument heading into the SEC championship. All I heard was Georgia defense, Georgia defense, Georgia defense. And I just kept on hammering the point. Bryce Young's the best quarterback in the country. He's going to find a way to slice them up, and he did. And I didn't think Stetson was the guy to navigate those treacherous waters. And, Tommy, nothing's changed my opinion about that. Even if there's a rematch, and I know there's no John Mechie for Bryce Young, and I think the Georgia defense will play better, I just don't think he's a good enough quarterback to outduel Bryce Young in Alabama.
So when I think about Georgia's defense, I think about Jordan Davis and their nose tackle. Maybe this isn't the best comparison, but what would be a bigger deal? To change quarterbacks on Georgia's team right now, or change nose tackles or a linebacker or someone in the secondary, one of their leaders at each 3 levels of the defense, which should get more scrutiny for Georgia? Because as you mentioned, they've won with defense. They haven't won by scoring a ton of points. They've beaten some teams in the East that just weren't very good and decisively so with offense, but they've lived and died with their defense, right? So what should have more conversation if a coach made a change? It would be on the defensive side, but that's not how we work. And I got to go to the game on Monday night in New Orleans, see the Dolphins play the Saints, and it made me think Tua Tagovailoa and that change in the halftime of the championship game. And there's only really one coach that could ever pull a change at quarterback and live with the scrutiny it would create if he lost, and that's Nick Saban. Obviously, he had won in that moment in the playoffs, making that change. So what was it, the championship game, and they went forward into the – I'm trying to remember exactly how that went, but there's only one coach that can do that and get away with it, and I don't think Kirby Smart's on that list of coaches that could make a change at quarterback at this moment in the season unless he was forced to by injury or COVID and live to tell about it if it didn't go well.
You're going back to the 2000, and that would have been the 17th season. Technically, he was playing 18 national championship. Devontae Smith caught that game-winning touchdown, and Tua, again, was a youngin'. He gets inserted for Jalen Hurts, who was having a dreadful first half, and they lived with it. Now, Tua did throw a pick in the second half. People forget about that, but he also threw the game-winning touchdown. I mean, if you're Georgia fans, are you just going to live? And, again, this is under the presumption that they could lose again to Alabama, which I think is a very likely possibility. Are you, as a Georgia fan, satisfied with just riding Stetson Bennett again? It's the old adage, do you do what got us here, you flip things up. You made an important statement. Saban is one of the few, if not the only coach that probably has enough backing. Maybe Dabo Swinney, Clemson could have done it if something wasn't going right with them. But he's one of the coaches. He's earned it. He can do it, and no one's going to question it. I don't think Kirby, with no national championships at that level yet, but what do you have to lose at this point?
I'm not saying that Kirby would get fired if he made a quarterback change and it went horribly wrong, but it would begin the process of people putting their chips in that bucket versus the other bucket. It'd be a check mark against you as a head coach. Saban's so far ahead on credits. He's got so many chips in his corner, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying the chip pile for Kirby's just not big enough yet that you're going to give up a considerable part of what you got in your corner if you do something like that. So, this is why they get paid the big bucks. I'm kind of like you. I'd like to see. We don't see what goes on in practice, but if practice is going well, make the change because you're going to have to score 30-something points in probably each of these games to do that. And can you do it with your current offense? Maybe not.
And that's a other part of this whole tentacle that we have yet to unwrap is, Tommy, we're not at practice. Maybe Daniels has been awful, and that's a reason. We don't know. We're just making assumptions and questioning this whole thing. And that's sports radio in a nutshell. But I was going back. I remember Stetson threw over 300 yards in that game, but he did throw 2 picks. He threw 1 pick six, and he also should have had a third. It was like the third play of the game, and it hit the guy right in the numbers. He ended up, I think, getting an interception later in that football game. But it's not like he had an awful, abysmal game. But, I mean, if you're going to beat Bryce Young, I'm already kind of fast-forwarding into next year, thinking about when Arkansas plays the Crimson Tide in Fayetteville. KJ Jefferson's going to have to play out of his mind to beat Bryce Young. And Stetson Bennett, if given the opportunity, and I know Michigan plays 2 quarterbacks, and I think it's McNamara. Sean McNamara is the guy's name. One of those guys, whether it's Bennett or McNamara, they are going, if they want to win a national championship, they're going to have to play an unreal game, maybe the best game of their life, not just to beat Bryce Young, but to beat the guy on the other sideline. That's Nick Saban. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I've always thought, the media asks these questions. I'm not saying we're doing that this morning, but I mean we're having the conversation. I mentioned practice, and you chimed in on that. Why would a coach, if he sees a player playing better in practice, not give that player a chance in a game? And I think it's always dangerous for us to make assumptions as fans, as media, that the coach is just the coach has less knowledge than we do. The coaches always have more knowledge and always have more information than we do to make those decisions. And exactly right what you're saying. He may be stinking it up in practice for all we know. They haven't seen enough to obviously make a change.
Yeah, and I don't think it's coming based on what Smart's saying and based on what's coming out. And I keep saying Athens. They're not in Athens right now, but that's obviously where the home of the Georgia Bulldogs are. College basketball stories from last night. Alabama beat number 14 Tennessee 73-68. That was a great game. Also had a good performance by Auburn. They win 70-55. Auburn is going to be a tough team. That Alabama-Auburn matchup is going to be fun to watch in basketball this season. And that's going to do it for your SEC update, Tommy, and it is brought to you by Ashley Air.
Yeah, proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics, and with basketball season heating up, that means it's time to get your heating system tuned up for the winter months that are ahead, and it's only $59 right now from Ashley Air, but only till January 1st. So make that call today or tomorrow and get that service scheduled with Ashley Air. That's a slam dunk deal, $59 to make sure your heating system is ready for winter's full court press. Schedule your winter tune-up today for $59 at AshleyAir.com. That's AshleyAir.com.
Just want to give you two gentlemen and the rest of our audience listening to the program, it is Bacon Day, so make sure you partake in this holiday. We always do our Thursdays and get a bacon cheeseburger pizza at Papa's, so that will be partaken in tonight as well. And I would assume that a lot of our listeners all over the place will at some point, at some way today, celebrate National Bacon Day, as there are so many. Cheeseburgers, pizza, sandwiches, chocolate covered. I mean, bacon is just the most useful. I think it's the most useful food on planet Earth.
Ever had a bacon burger? Not bacon on like a hamburger, but where they grind the bacon and mix it with hamburger meat. It's like 50% bacon, 50% hamburger meat.
I think I need to try that now. Maybe you
good.
need.
I had some pork sausage and bacon mixed together that we bought at the Harder House in Hollister, Missouri, and it was half bacon, half pork sausage made together for sausage patties. That was pretty good too. So
It's good. My uncle called me yesterday. He's heading down to New Orleans to watch the Baylor and Ole Miss Sugar Bowl, and he shared with me the pit stops that he's going. I know that he's going to be where you just were, and I'm envious right now. It is hard to beat Cajun food. It just is. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, if you get a chance to go down there, doesn't get much better than that. All right, Football Friday coming up tomorrow for Tommy, Drew. I'm Ty. We're also going to have on Kevin McGuire, who covers Penn State, at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
At Clay Maxey Automotive Group, we know we would be nothing without the communities we're dedicated to serving.
In every community,